What's
Chill.
good? What's good, my dude?
Not much, man. How you doing?
Man, I am physically exhausted, but mentally, I'm Batman. So, all right. So we flipped the tables on the time again. This is a late night session for us. We doing it at what time is it? 11:43.
11:43.
So it's almost a new day.
Yeah.
We're both wearing our glasses. That's something that
means
that's
it's late.
That's something that's definitely new.
That means we're our eyes are tired. Our contacts are dry.
I mean, well, my eyes are red because I've been sleeping.
Rubbing them a lot.
Yeah. You know what? I'll go with that. I was
rubbing my eyes a lot. By the way, welcome to What We Into. I'm your host, Lawrence Al. This is
and I'm your boy Rob Karma Robinson. And I think we have a discrepancy. We should probably just hit here at the top. This isn't our. Well, I was saying it was our 25th episode. This is actually our 26th.
This is our 26th. We were off by a day.
Wow.
We skipped one.
Wow, I was so, it was, I thought it was prestigious, the 25th, but we're actually older than we claim to be.
They say time flies, but
when you're having fun.
Having fun.
I mean, have you been having fun?
With the podcast, yes.
I've been having fun.
You know what's not fun, as I realize, is every time we record at your place, you sit right there and I sit right here, and there's just a blinding, shadeless light right behind your head.
Yeah, I think I planned it that way, bro.
It's almost like a halo right around your head.
That's exactly what I always want to bathe me in that soft, the angelic glow, my G. That's how I like to get down in the world.
It's also like that picture. It's like every picture from college with you in a dark room, and like I can see your teeth and your eyeballs, and that's it.
Don't make it weird, bro.
Don't make it weird.
Don't make it weird. It's almost midnight. Don't make it weird.
We had a week. Yeah, tell me about your work. Tell me about what you did this week.
Well, I'm gonna keep it short. Basically, I was working a corporate event for Adidas.
I love corporations.
It was outside though.
Yeah.
And it was basically back to back 12-hour days.
So 3 of them in a row?
3 of them in a row, back to back. And the first day wasn't so bad because a lot of the stuff that was needed to do the job hadn't shown up because they were bringing it in on trucks and whatever the fuck it was. So and we started at 11, which was fine. So we went 11 to whatever. But the next day was 9.
But you had to wait. You had to be there at 11, or you just
you had to be there at 11.
Okay, and then you leave him around 10. So it's not too early for you.
No, I mean it like it was fine. Like time wise, like I said, the initial day was pretty easy. We spent and they had craft services, so like, it was
craft services is always fun unless you're a celebrity and you're sick of it. Craft services is way too.
Listen, I long for the days of just living my life solely off of craft services. Yeah. So I did that for 72 hours, or not 72 hours, but 3 days worth of craft services.
Sidebar, like whenever you have kids and they walk by craft services, if you're like in a city that films a lot, like here in New York. Your kids will go nuts for craft service. They just see that stuff, and that's what they want.
It's fucking awesome. And they have they have everything.
It's
like
just a good
fruit.
buffet.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. It's like a really good buffet.
Depending on the movie or the TV show, it's like a better craft services.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. I mean, like one day we had stir fry. One day there was like meatballs and spaghetti, and like legit meatballs and spaghetti. Like. You know what? Let's not get too deep in it. Let's just say it. But it was all outside.
You ever see the cereal bar for craft services where they have like
20
different kinds of cereals?
I was like, fuck, man! Like
10 different kinds of milk.
At one point, my man put out some macaroons, and I literally watched him pick up a macaroon, put it in his mouth, and was like, "Blah," and spit it in the trash.
This is too French for me.
This macaron is horrible.
What is this, pistachio?
And here's the irony is the event.
Dulce de leche every day. That's all I eat. That's the only macaroons I eat.
The irony is that the event is something promoting
starvation,
awareness of all the plastic that goes into the oceans.
Yes.
So.
I was thinking about this the other day with like a movie. I don't remember what it was, but I was like, this movie is pro environment, pro like I don't know, just like make the world a better place and cleaner and yada yada yada. But how much resources movies use,
bro,
and just like throw that shit out,
like at one point, and I'm sure I'm violating my NDA telling a lot of this shit. Fuck it, like they're gonna listen.
Our 200,000 listeners, they do not come anywhere near.
No, so at one point, like we're unpacking one of these containers, and there's this like giant, like it's a styrofoam pillar, basically.
Sweet.
Like a giant styrofoam pillar.
That's
and
not
like
going
one
anywhere.
of the, like, I guess, like one of the production, like head of the production, like women, she's like, she basically should tell us to discreetly get rid of it because apparently they're not supposed to like
tell
pack
you
it
to
like
throw
that.
that into the sewer.
She's like, yeah, basically she's like,
the sewer.
but we're setting this up in this place that didn't exist a couple years ago in Williamsburg, called Domino Park.
Oh yeah.
You know it?
Yeah. I don't know if I've been there, but this is where they had the big domino sugar sculpture. Yeah.
You know,
what's
you know
her
about
name?
It's like literally next door to that.
Yeah, what's that artist's name? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but I know it's a very
very very female black.
It's
artist,
a female black artist. Yeah,
and she basically did like Aunt Jemima, sort of like.
It was from what somebody was describing it like she had built like a sphinx and out of molasses and like children with like baskets in their arms and stuff like this, and like as the place heated up, like the molasses, like the arms of these things would start falling. Like it was like a decaying art installation. But the entire thing was made out of molasses. I just think she made it
really shitty and it started to fall apart. And she's like, "Yeah, that's
what I meant to do." I don't know, but why else would you build something out of like molasses in a factory that doesn't have air conditioning, like a blown out sugar factory, in the summer?
She also does a lot of what is it? It's like Cara or something like that. I
honestly didn't even know about it until like we were down there on the site, and one of these cats was like, "Oh yeah, that's where XYZ was doing this thing." And I was like, "What? She did a what?" And they started to talk to me about it. I was like, "That sounds amazing." She
works with paper a lot too, and so she'll do a lot of these sort of like cutouts, this sort of staccato black and white cutouts that were representing her in sort of like the past and slavery and those types of things. They were really beautiful and moving, and
a lot of her art is political.
Yeah, I don't know about political. I think a lot of art was just like, it was, unless just if being black is political, you know what I mean. But maybe it is. Maybe it is.
Maybe
you
lived in America ever?
Go deep, you know what I mean. But it's just like her being,
right.
But it was there was something I read in this article. I can't remember what it was. Whatever. If it comes to me, I'll interrupt.
It was recent.
No, I read, if it was recent, I'd remember her name. It was probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago, because that sugar Aunt Jemima Sphinx statue was there for quite a while. I think they were going to move it to another location, or something like that. Whatever.
Well, anyway, that's,
we don't know what we're talking about.
Anyway, that's where it was.
Yeah,
and it's a race. It's a 5K race.
Yeah,
and then afterwards it's a party.
Yeah. So there's these big styrofoam pillars that people, when they run through and they cross the tape.
Well, no, I should
have.
I posted some of the pictures from the site on Facebook, but mostly of me like driving a forklift.
Yeah.
Well, standing on a forklift.
Yeah, that's right. You were the guy. He was like, "Hey, can you drive a forklift?" And you're like, "No, but I'll say yes."
Exactly. And then I was like, "Hey, YouTube. Oh, yeah, got this.
You got it. Nice. I don't know if I could do that.
Easy as fuck.
I don't know if I could drive a forklift.
Dude, you can learn to drive a forklift. I did in a morning
in a YouTube video. Yeah,
in a YouTube video. It's fucking, dude. You can learn anything on YouTube now. That's true. Like, honestly, if I was somebody who had like access to young minds, like impressionable young minds, I'd be like, yo. Don't go to school. Anything you want to learn, somebody will show it to you step by fucking step on the internet.
Absolutely.
I would tell them that. I'd be like, save your fucking money. Save yourself the debt that's going to be like accrued to the higher education. Yeah. All that
anytime I get stuck in a video
that they sold us when we were, infants.
Alright, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to be giving you a basic tutorial on how to operate and drive one of these guys, which is your standard forklift. You're going to have these in all kinds of places like shop yards, warehouses, all kinds of places like that. And knowing how to drive one of these is really going to help you. So let's get into it. But before we get started, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get into it.
Anytime I get stuck in a video game, I YouTube it. Anytime I need to fix something in my house.
Anything you need.
YouTube it.
YouTube University is a real thing.
Yeah.
YouTube University is a real thing.
It really is.
I mean, you can listen to motherfuckers' lectures that other people are like sitting down and paying like tuition for. Like a lot of those like universities, you can they upload lectures to YouTube, so you can take a philosophy class at UCL fucking A. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Why not? Save yourself the bread and the heartache.
I don't care. Tired. Because I worked as a waiter too many days this week. You know, the kids had off school Tuesdays and Thursday this week.
What? Oh, was it?
The first one was a Muslim holiday, which was Eid something I don't remember.
Okay.
Because I'm not religious. And maybe the second was an extension of the Muslim holiday. I don't know what exactly it was. But the first day we went to the Alamo and we saw Godzilla. Yeah.
All right, we'll talk. And that's what...
Yeah.
In case you haven't figured out, we're talking about Godzilla this week.
I think they probably saw the title of the show.
Right. It's Godzilla.
It's called Godzilla. It's also called Dark Phoenix because I saw that today.
You saw that today
at 10 a.m.
You motherfucker.
And I saved you $15.
What? Oh, right.
Yeah,
I told. Didn't I tell you?
Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah.
I told you, man. I knew.
It's not. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Okay,
it's not the worst thing in the world.
Like none of those movies are, but there's stuff that they do, and then I'm like, you didn't have to do it that way.
I saw a 10 a.m. showing of it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, 10 a.m.
All right, well, shit, you want to jump into some news before we?
I do. Let's jump into some news.
Rails?
It's Channel 4 News at 6 o'clock.
Can I go first?
Yeah, please.
There's a rumor that Blade may appear in a Hulu Marvel series.
Really?
Yeah.
Blade. You got anything other than unsubstantiated whatever?
I mean, this is from comicbookreader.com. They're not talking about bringing Wesley Snipes back.
Well,
so we need to get you the audition, bro.
Well, it's interesting that you brought that up because I actually saw some news, some comic book news that has Blade and Winter Soldier and a bunch of like random Marvel people like teaming up in the comic books.
Yeah, okay.
On this team, and it came across my feed because I was like, "What? Blade is joining
in
Winter
the comics
Soldier?
or in like
in
a
comics.
TV show?" Okay, yeah,
yeah. He's joining Blade. It was Blade. The name that they dropped was Blade, Winter Soldier, Spectrum.
Okay.
This voodoo guy whose name I can't remember. But it's like a mashup of like magic people and like legitimate power people and like fucking Winter Soldier.
Okay.
But yeah, apparently it's like a Marvel miniseries that they're like culminating or like bringing together soon or something.
Well, Marvel Studios got the rights back to Blade in 2013, so they had the rights for a while. And we talked. There was another rumor about Blade 4. The movie
I did hear
some
talk about that.
There's also another rumor that maybe one day I might watch Blade 3.
You should.
But I haven't yet. But that's just a rumor. That's
if not for nothing, you get to see Ryan Reynolds,
Ryan Reynolds before he knows what Ryan Reynolds is. Yeah.
Pre Ryan Reynolds before he's basically like auditioning for Deadpool at this point.
It's so funny to go back and watch movies like
Parker Posey's in it. I fucking love.
That's right.
Yeah, Parker Posey's in it, and I fucking love Parker Posey.
Yeah.
So like it's not a good Blade movie. It's not even a good Marvel movie.
Trinity.
Because I'm gonna get into
that was another trilogy that basically from 2 weeks ago that did not end well. But maybe we talked about it.
Yeah, did not and starring Dominic something or other. He was in Prison Break. He was in Prison Break, and he's now on Legends of Tomorrow, playing
both two shows I don't watch.
Jesus,
he could be anybody. I'm going to say Dominic West because it's the only Dominic I know.
Is it Dominic West?
I could Google it. I'm not going to either.
Well,
but that would be cool if Blade had a TV show.
Well, it's an interesting trajectory of this actor now that I'm thinking about it because how he played Dracula in this Blade Marvel movie, and now he's sort of like he's a cast regular on Legends of Tomorrow, which is in its third season and probably hopefully final.
The other TV shows that are coming out to Hulu, when we talked about this before, there's a Howard the Duck one, MODOK, Tigra and Dazzler, and Hit Monkey. And so this would be sort of maybe along with them, along also with Marvel's Runaways, which I'm Someday.
still haven't fucking seen
I'm
it.
going to watch it.
You're full of shit. You're not going to watch it.
Now I want to watch it with my kids because they like the comic a lot. So
They would like, and it's just appropriate enough for them.
yeah, I think we're getting to that. It's only been
It's just appropriate
6 months since I was like, no, they're not ready for that.
I think they both would enjoy it.
Yeah.
One of the characters I think is Daisy's age.
Oh yeah, okay. We have to talk about Skin Wars later.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you're welcome and my bad. Both in the same word.
Thankfully, Skin Wars on Netflix is only 3 seasons long, but it's been on nonstop since last week. That
you're welcome and my bad.
I've now seen every episode. Maybe we'll talk about what we into. Maybe
you're
we
welcome
won't.
and my bad, bro. Okay, I said it 3 times. Swamp Thing getting canceled after 1 episode.
What?
Yeah,
the whole thing.
Apparently, I read it this morning.
I think you got the information wrong because I have.
No, I read it this morning. I think it was Kotaku. Swamp Thing canceled after 1 episode.
Yeah, but they didn't cancel. I think they canceled.
Not the season that they're
you're going to get 10
run
episodes.
This whole season.
Yeah, you're going to get 10 episodes.
You're going to get, but it was originally 13, and they chopped it down to 10.
Yes, and what I have here is that Swamp Thing cancellation tied to North Carolina accounting error.
And this is what I was. This is
okay.
You didn't let me finish the rest of the thing, but apparently it was like a state error that got it canceled. Like. You didn't let me finish. You never let me finish.
You go ahead, finish. You can finish.
You already spoiled the Jack in the Box part of this.
I think you just don't know any more details other than that.
Oh, really? All right. All right.
Okay,
what else
so
you got?
Basically what happened was Warner Media, they were supposed to get a $40 million tax rebate from North Carolina.
No, they weren't.
But due to an accounting error, they realized it was really $14 million.
Look. Exactly.
Now,
look
the entire
North
season
Carolina
was $80 million to film.
Educationally, and like, look at where North Carolina is in like those barometers that we judge like things on, and tell me what the fuck were they doing in North Carolina talking about 40? Where the fuck was North Carolina getting $40 million from?
That was
to rebate them.
That's what I'm saying. Like the tax rebate.
Get the fuck out of my face. That's some fuckery.
Somebody's fingers on the keyboard slipped. And they didn't. But how did they film 13? How did they get that far through the process and not realize that? Oh, yeah, we meant 14 million. And I'd say, you know what? Too bad, North Carolina. You have to pay its 40 million.
That. Yeah, fuck that. You pay.
You
pay
screwed
what you
it
owe.
up.
You signed some shit.
You pay for it now. Give us our show that we have not. Give us another season of our show. This is gonna make the Swamp Thing show a huge cult hit.
You know what? Did you? I watched it this week. I saw that first.
I didn't see it. Did you see it?
I did. Of course, I did.
You saw the body. Dealt with anything like that before?
Who are you again?
Holland.
Alec Holland was investigating illegal dumping on the swamp.
Hello? Dr. Jason Woodrow.
The CDC's in town. There's no way that my accelerant is responsible.
There's this poison coming off the swamp.
You should be dead! There's been a shift in the balance of the light and the dark. Something's out there.
Okay, we'll talk when we get to what we.
There was a lot of things I watched this week that got. It was across the spectrum because then I started to work and I had to go from having like that heavy dark stuff to a more lighter fare.
Sure, I understand. It's after work and you're like, I can't fucking handle some dark shit.
Yeah, I started the week honestly with some really
like
dark shit.
My dark shit is like Chernobyl.
Oh,
and like your dark shit
and
is
my
like
dark shit
Swamp
was
Thing.
oh my god, I can't even. What is it? How they see us? The Ava DuVernay's.
Oh yeah, that's dark.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
it was dark. It took me a couple. It took me a couple sittings to get through all of it too, because I couldn't. It was one of those I couldn't watch straight through because like I remember it. I was in the city. I was old enough to be like aware of this going on.
Explain what that is for somebody who may not know. Maybe me, what the plot is exactly.
Well, basically, in 1989, this white female jogger went for a run in Central Park and basically got brutalized, like sexually assaulted.
Oh, I do know what this is. Yeah,
and then
the Central Park 5. Yeah,
yeah,
because there was
Ken Burns did the documentary like last
Okay.
year, and
That's
then
right.
Ava DuVernay, who did the 13th, was it 13th? The documentary about the 13th Amendment.
Right, which we talked about that in one of our podcasts.
And I'm pretty sure that Retina is on her. Isn't Queen Sugar? She does Queen Sugar as well.
I think so, right?
Yeah, I think that's her show as well. And shout out to Retina Wesley.
Yeah,
her, former.
She's just a random actress that's amazing.
Yeah,
we don't know
and
her
a really dear friend. I love her to death. But yeah, so the series, it took me a few viewings to get through because it was a motherfucker. But we'll get into that before we get.
I want to hear more about it. Yeah, now I remember what it's about.
Shit, man, E3 is knocking on the door. It's E3 time. Did you hear about the big leak that happened already?
Hold on, let me see if I remember what E3 stands for. Electronic Entertainment Expo.
There you go. You get a gold star. You get to go, and you almost fucked it up, but you get a gold star.
I almost fucked it up. I got it. That's the story of my life. Almost fucked it up.
You almost fucked it up.
You got it.
Yeah, but did you hear about the big leak?
No, it's a leak,
dude. Apparently, George R. R. Martin had been in talks to do a game. Game of Thrones, dude.
Yeah.
Was in talks to do a game by the same guys who did Sekiro and Dark Souls.
From Software. We reported on it 2 weeks ago.
Did we?
Yeah. That was apparently a thing that was probably happening.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
2 weeks ago we talked about it.
Well, it's official. It was horribly leaked.
Or it was
E3.
One of the notes in my phone, and we didn't bring it up.
I'm pretty sure I don't remember talking about it on the podcast. And I'm usually the irony is I'm usually the steel-minded trap on this
Not
show.
Not lately.
What?
Daddy's been tired.
I'm the steel-minded trap.
No. I'm saying, but yes, that keeps. Whatever.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying.
Check, please.
My still mind has
we
not
gotta
been...
get this drunk motherfucker to the house.
He said my still mind has been the and immediately I thought my still mind, and no, that's not working out.
Bruh, yeah, you might want to sip that rosé a little bit slower, homie.
Oh no, I think I need to increase the rosé.
I doubt you could even imagine it. That which commanded the stars, giving life its fullest brilliance. The Elden Ring. Oh, Elden Ring. Shattered by someone or something.
Alright, you got anything else? What else you got?
What do I got? I got some Bill and Ted casting stuff.
Like what's going on?
Actually, yeah, we'll talk about it. And that's that's Black Mirror. Everything.
All right, then I'll go.
Let's talk about Google Stadia because we're talking about video games, and I have another thing about VR.
Okay.
So Google Stadia came out. And they're talking. It didn't come out.
They didn't come out. They gave their price point. They gave the price point and when it's supposed to be dropping.
Right.
Yeah.
So you read about this?
I did.
I don't understand what the draw is.
Well, the price point for one is a huge draw.
Why?
$129 versus the $300 that you would pay for like any of the other big ones, Nintendo, Xbox, or.
So what is it? So it's like a stick you plug into your TV. And you buy a controller for it, so you pay $150 for the stick, and you get
and there's a free there's a paid tier and then there's a free tier,
right?
And basically the difference is the quality of streaming you get for it,
right?
And that's like the paid tier gives you like. I'm trying to hang on a second because I think I remember a lot of the statistics for the paid tier was something like you get access to the 4K streaming and 60 frame per second frame rate,
right? And that's at $10 a month.
Yeah, that's $9.99 a month. And then at the free tier you get basically 1080p. And I think maybe 30 frames per second or something.
Yeah,
it's a less quality, but it's basically free. It's a video game subscription.
Yeah. So I think what it is right. They'll give you the hardware for free,
right?
And you can get like a 720p or maybe even 1080p, 60 frames per second video game streaming.
Yeah.
But then they also sell games.
Yeah.
Through it as if it's like sort of a PlayStation Network type thing.
Kind of, yes.
Yeah.
I honestly, I looked at it, I was reading it, and I was like, I'm still not sure how you're going to achieve this, but I think it's through it was something to do with like Microsoft's hardware is better somehow for what PlayStation View. I don't know if you ever tried that, but it's that app on your PlayStation that basically lets you stream video games. Yeah, it's kind of like
we're just talking about. Is it just simply a Netflix thing for video games?
Ostensibly, yes.
Yeah, so
I think the $129. I'm not,
or 150 or however much
it is. Whatever that price point is, I'm not entirely sure what it is that you're actually paying to get. I don't know if it's that you're paying that to get the controller, because from what I can understand, you can use any
third
controller.
Third party
to do it.
The controller itself is $70,
right?
So I think there's like a version where you actually, I think you can get the hardware completely for free.
Well, I'm gonna put it out there to, our small community of listeners. Like, if you know more about it, please feel free to just write in, hit us at what we into at gmail.com. Hit us and
if you did more than just looked at a brief article and decided you're going to report on this without knowing any information,
just hit us with the information, because I'm sure they're going to be there's more to come on it, but like, if we don't know now, like, somebody hit us.
Well, there's games. So basically, it's like a console that you can buy games from and then stream those games through the console.
I don't think you need the console, because I'm not entirely sure how this is going to work. That's the only thing I'm still...
Okay, I know how it's going to work. It's going to work like Amazon Prime, where, like, you want to watch Godzilla 2014. You do not have the mental ability to stream it through torrents in any way, or set yourself up with a VPN so you don't get kicked off your internet, right? So you can't do those things. So you have to pay for Godzilla 2014, right? You go to Amazon, you attach your credit card, you pay $3.99 to rent it, or you pay $9.99 to own it forever. But you can only play it through Amazon Prime or Amazon Online.
And you think that's what the Stadia is?
Yeah, I think that's what it is, but for video games. So you can... There will probably be a selection of like video games you can play for free, right? You can play them anytime, and they probably change month to month. Some will be there for a while. As soon as you want to play a game, you'll check, and it'll be gone. Just like Netflix, right? As soon as you're like, oh, I want to watch Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines for no reason other than I hate myself. Oh, shoot, it's no longer a Netflix, but I swear it was just there. You know what I mean? But it's going to be like that for video games. And then if you want to buy Terminator 3 Rise for the Machines for the Google Stadia, you can, if that was a video game. I think that's what it's going to be like. That's what they're trying to do. Meanwhile, Microsoft has the Xbox. PlayStation has PlayStation 5 coming out, right? Nintendo's Nintendo. They're like, whatever, we're just going to keep doing our thing.
We also talked about that report of them, Xbox and or Microsoft and Sony.
Yeah, teaming up to do this sort of thing. Because really, it's coming down to right now almost exclusives. Like, what games are going to be out for the Stadia that are not going to be available for PlayStation 5 or whatever the new Xbox thing is.
Right now, PlayStation has kind of owned the market on, like, the exclusive that you want to play.
Yeah.
I mean, going back a long ways. Metal
Sekiro is the
Gear,
perfect example.
But Sekiro's on all systems.
It's on multiple platforms.
Multi-platform.
It's not the perfect example. It's the opposite of the perfect example.
Your perfect example would be God of War. Your perfect example would be The Last of Us.
The Last of Us 2. But that'll probably be out on multiple platforms.
Your perfect example would be the Nathan Drake series, Uncharted, which guess who's going to be playing him in the movies?
I'm going to say, I don't know, Tom Holland.
You did catch it. All right, so we can skip right through
that.
We don't even got to scratch that right off the news bracket there.
I want to move on to another piece of news about the Oculus Quest. Do you know about this? Yeah, the VR. So tell me what you think VR is versus what the Oculus Quest actually is.
From what I understand, if
you're going to play VR, how are you going to do it right now?
Right now?
Yeah.
You'd have to put on a giant fucking headset and mask.
And what else?
And I guess you have to be plugged into something, possibly.
Yeah, it's going to plug into your PC.
Or, whatever device that's going to give you the information.
And there's sensors You have to set up sensors around your room,
Seriously?
right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
And same with PlayStation VR. And this is why we don't. Another reason why we don't have it is because we have to set up sensors around our room.
I didn't know that. I didn't know there was actually. I thought it was just you just needed the headset. I didn't know there was actually you have to add physical. You know what they call it, peripherals. I didn't know you had to add.
What I
other
call it
peripherals.
is messing with my feng shui. Right. I can't have things in my apartment.
See, I like my sound system. My sound system rocks.
I agree. I've heard it a few times and thought, what is that?
Why is that behind?
You know what?
Even
That's
now, it fucks me.
sound
It fucks me up occasionally. Sometimes I'll be like, "Is that from?" Oh, that's okay.
That's me outside your window.
That's inside the house.
It's inside the house.
It fucks me up a lot.
The call's coming from inside.
So,
the house.
if I can't use the visual, like VR, like the Oculus or something, with my own sound system, it's useless to me.
Yeah. So the Oculus Quest does away with all those things.
Okay, and what way?
It's completely wireless. It does not attach your PC.
Okay,
you have two little hand things that you can move back, and that's it.
Okay,
and a Wi-Fi connection, and that's it.
Have you tried this?
No.
Oh, okay.
Because our Patreon is not patreon.com/whatweinto.
Well, we are not Instagram models. I feel like if we were Instagram models doing
we certainly have the bodies for it.
I mean, if we were doing bikini try-ons once a week or something, I think our Patreon would be bumping.
They don't want us to have VR yet because they know we'll just VR doing heroin. I'll invent the VR train spotting game.
I would be lying if
I'm going to be Ewan McGregor in train spotting.
I would be lying if I said I wouldn't try VR heroin. I'd be dead ass lying.
It's just called train spotting heroin. Do it. Anyway, so the Oculus Quest, there's no wires that connect to your PC.
That's awesome.
It's around.
How much is it?
I think there's two versions. I think there's $399.
That's not terrible,
right? And I think that's for something like
the basic. That's the base model.
That's I can't find it on here, but it's something like a base gig amount. Because you have to save the info. It's like having a phone attached to your face.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the VR headsets I've seen have been you slap the phone into.
But that's not what this is. This is not a phone that attaches to your face. But you're still sort of paying for that kind of thing. You can pay base phones. You can get the 64 gig versus the 128 gig. This is there's a $399 and there's also a $5 or $499 some version. Who gives a shit? It's expensive, but not that expensive.
See, and this is why we talked about it on the show before. VR right now is not worth the money. Not in the way that the movies and sort of popular fiction had made it out to be.
But I think,
and I don't think we're far.
This is close. That's what I'm saying. I don't
think we're far.
The article I was reading about basically talks about how this is very, very close. And they don't quite have all of the high level games. There's some good games.
Because I don't think they'll have those games until the technology is better.
Well, that game Vader Immortal. Remember?
I did see some gameplay for it.
And it didn't look cool. As good as the Jedi Padawan.
It looks cool.
Fallen Knight or whatever that was.
Do you remember the arcade version of that? There was an arcade version of that where you got to swing a lightsaber at a screen in a story mode, not dissimilar to. You don't remember? Oh.
No.
Okay, I can't remember the actual title of it, but I'd have.
But it was a Star Wars game.
It's a Star Wars based game, and it. So when I saw the VR version of it, I was like, "Oh, that's just like that old arcade game."
Reality doesn't believe in the impossible. It doesn't believe in moving without limits or breaking the laws of physics. Reality will never let you enter magical realms. Will never let you stop time or wield a lightsaber. But that doesn't mean you can't. You can have more than one body. You can have more than one world to explore. Because reality is yours to defy.
$399, 64 gigs, $499, 128 gigs.
So it's only $100 more for the that's
so if you want to be lazy and just have a whole bunch of games saved to it, because this is what happens with PlayStation all the time. I'm like, why don't I just download? Why would I pay $100 more to have a bigger hard drive on my PlayStation when I can just download those games whenever I want?
And it's an interesting thing because
how many gigs do you have on your PlayStation right now?
God, man, that's a good question.
Are you a terabyte or are you half a terabyte?
I think I'm a terabyte.
You're okay.
Yeah,
mine's definitely not. Mine's like maybe half, or maybe even only
Really?
250. Yes.
Wow.
No, it's gotta be half. So 500
I
gigs.
got mine in a bundle, and I think did I tell you the price I paid for mine?
No.
$97.
What?
I paid $97 for my PlayStation 4.
What? Did you buy it on the corner?
No, motherfucker. I bought it in the GameStop, and it was a Last of Us bundle.
But were you like at the GameStop counter and somebody like tapped you on the shoulder and was like, "Hey, dude, man,
I got these PlayStation 4s right here." You open up his coat and they're just hanging in there. No, motherfucker, this ain't coming to America.
$97.
I got it fell off the back of a truck, player. $97.
So you gave him like $97. He's like, no, including tax. You're like, no, that's not part of the deal, man.
Player. No, it was actually it was kind of fortuitous how it happened.
Do tell.
It was a warm spring day. Andy Dufresne had come to Shawshank Penitentiary. No. I was only.
Pause that for a second, because when I left to go to work today at around I think 4:00, I put on this Nutcracker in the Four Realms movie for Penelope. I didn't even put it on; she picked it out from Netflix. Nutcracker in the Four Realms.
I know the one she's talking about because it's been popping up in my feed recently.
And Morgan Freeman's in it.
Yes, I know.
And I walked by and I saw that he was in it. I was like, "Oh, Morgan Freeman!" And I looked at her and I realized she has no idea who I'm talking about. And he's in it.
I couldn't even
Morgan
do it.
Freeman. I was so excited.
I couldn't even do it, bro. Netflix has been throwing it at me a few nights and been like, "Hey, you might like." I'm like,
"You might like it."
I don't think so. Netflix, get out of my face with that shit.
That's the problem when you have kids too, or even kids of your friends who you could watch movies with, because you're like, I'm not going to watch that by myself. If I'm going to watch that movie, it's going to be with a kid.
Well, I told you I watched Rim of the World with the
exactly. That was like your excuse. Now I can't watch it. I have no one to watch it with because everybody in my family's seen it. Thanks a lot, Rob. I can't watch Netflix's Rim of the World.
You can't expect me to hang out with them and not get into what they're into. I tell them, already know I like juice boxes, I like naps, I like a lot of what they into, son. You know this.
I got a cheese stick in my pocket.
You for real?
Okay. Sidebar to the sidebar.
See, don't ever tell me you got a cheese stick in your pocket and not have a fucking cheese stick in your pocket.
Sidebar to the sidebar. Cheese sticks, they're like in a little like plastic shell bag type thing. You're supposed to refrigerate them.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
You don't actually have to. You know how long those things will last? Unless you have it in like a hot car or like direct sunlight.
Yeah. I think even then you'd be fine.
I
think you can throw it in a beach bag, take it to the beach, put it in your closet, forget it for 6 months, pull it back out, and be like, it's cheese stick.
As long as it's not in direct sunlight, I think you're good.
No problem.
And it's still, and that seal isn't broken. As long as that seal isn't broken and it's not in direct sunlight, it's good. I mean, most cheeses last a long time.
What's your favorite cheese?
You know what? I really go for a good sharp cheddar, bro.
I
fucks with some cheddar.
White or orange?
Orange.
Now,
is the orange the one that they put chemicals in to make it orange, or is the white the one that they put chemicals in to make it white?
I'm gonna say they put chemicals in to make it white.
Yeah. So I don't
it's
fuck
like
with that
bread.
cheese.
They gotta bleach that shit.
Yeah.
They bleach the wheat.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
They bleach white cheddar. I bet they bleach it. I bet it's naturally orange.
Yeah.
But they don't want the orange cheddar to have anything.
Can't never.
So they bleach it.
Turn it white. It's called freedom cheddar now.
Freedom cheddar, exactly. Freedom cheddar. We got some freedom fries here.
Yo, you hear about that shit when they trying to turn? This said like freedom molecules or whatever.
Oh, no.
Did you hear about this shit?
No.
Oh my god! You know, it may have been an Onion article. So let me stop making up shit that I can't substantiate with my memory.
Games for the Google Stadia that'll come out. When it comes out, Dragon Ball, Doom Eternal, Darksiders, Genesis, Wolfenstein Youngblood, Destiny 2. It's supposed to be bundled with Destiny 2 and all the DLC.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Power Rangers, Samurai Showdown, The Crew 2, Assassin's Creed 2.
Honestly, bro, the price point for me sounds fuckswittable. And it seems like as long as you got like a decent enough internet service or connection, I might fuck with that base model like just off top. It's free. I could use my own controller.
I would get it if it's free. If I was like, if I can fill out this thing I'll even pay for shipping. If you're like, it's $10 to ship, I'll pay for that. Send it to me. I'll plug it into my TV. I'll check out what it's got.
Just based on the library. Because I actually tried. Did you actually try the PlayStation View app?
No.
Because I did. I tried it.
Is it called View, or I thought it was PlayStation Now?
Oh,
I
think View is the videos, and I think Now is
the video games.
Is the video games. So
yeah. PlayStation Now. Right.
You didn't try it though.
I never tried it. You told me you tried it.
It's a free trial.
I was gonna get you a year subscriction for your birthday.
I think you might. I think hold off. I think hold off. I was
like, I'll never see him again.
Yeah, that's dead ass true.
Yeah,
that's dead ass true.
I'll never see him
because I tried the trial, and not for nothing, it's very impressive.
Yeah,
it's very impressive. I mean, with a few caveats, there was a few times where the connection would drop, like in the middle of like a really action packed thing. But I think with this team up that they're doing with Google. I think it'll solve a lot of that, and I think it'll make it more solid for like people who don't have like the greatest streaming, but they want to get in on it.
Right.
I managed to. I was jumping through games like I was trying to the trial like, boom, and they all worked
for the most part. Yeah,
for the most part, really well.
That's what the argument is. Unless you're like a competitive online fighting game dude or gal.
And if you are, you probably have a dope ass internet connection.
Exactly.
You probably are directly wired. I mean, I run mine off the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I think general internet connections lately have been fine,
pretty good.
Yeah, there was a period of time during the PS3 era when I was on Avenue D where I was like, this my internet's not doing so well, and same with 7th Street. But by the time I moved to Brooklyn, I think the internet had caught up for the most part.
Town, baby.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
I have a feeling we're about to embark upon a most unprecedented expedition.
Once they made history.
I must see to it that you die.
Now, they are history. Bill and Ted are dead.
Well, Bill and Ted 3, Samara Weaving and Bridget Lundy Payne, they're cast as the daughters.
Huh.
The only reason I brought that up, because Bill and Ted 3 is coming out. They face the music.
Do they have
I think
a release date for it yet?
What was that?
Do they have a release date for it yet?
If they do, I've not read that far into the article. But I was just interested in the fact that both Bill and Ted had daughters.
Yeah,
as kids. I don't know.
I like that.
Yeah, I like it. I like it too because I have my own daughters. But there's also something very pandering about like they're just everything's good.
It's interesting that you say that because I think a lot of people are like. That's been kind of a lot of the bents in a lot of movies these days. They have this, really strong like female or like somebody who's from like a minority community. They kind of pander to that now in a way.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what they're showing as
their representation. They're trying to show them.
Yeah,
we're making the effort, and I'm all for it. I don't consider it pandering. Yeah. Honestly,
I don't know if I only consider it pandering if it turns out to be done poorly. Mm-hmm. Like Dark Phoenix was done poorly, and when we get to that, I'll tell you about it.
Okay.
It was not done poorly-ish.
Okay, well then let me jump onto the movie. I got some movie stuff too. Unless you got anything else to talk about, Bill and Ted.
Do I have anything else to talk about it? They say that when we saw Samara and Brigitte together, it was like deja vu. It was exactly the way we felt when we first saw Keanu and Alex. We are so thrilled to have them, this funny and unique pair, join Bill and Ted team. I don't know. Do Bill and Ted need their daughters along on the adventure?
I don't.
Now
think
we're becoming
so.
Dads. Now you're like speaking specifically to me.
I think that is
as a watcher.
I think that's who they're pandering to. They're pandering to like the dads now.
I mean, it's brilliant.
Which is kind of
who else is going to go see this movie?
That's exactly my point because I don't. Okay, I don't know very many. I don't know a lot of women who get down on Bill and Ted Great Adventure, and that may just. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, women shouldn't, or women don't. I just personally in my life, I don't know very many women who are like, oh, those Bill and Ted movies are awesome.
I don't know very many guys who are like that Bill and Ted's movies. It's
that's my
general,
point.
Like, by the way, Keanu Reeves' birthday is September 2nd.
Is he?
It came up for no reason at a table tonight.
That's Miranda's birthday.
Is it Miranda who? Wilson?
Yeah, I think.
What's up, Miranda Wilson?
Shout out to Miranda.
We only brought you up 3 times on this podcast.
That's why I love y'all. That's why I love her. She had the same birthday, Yanu.
Yeah, I served a random table, and they told me that.
No shit.
And they're like, yeah, Keanu Reeves' birthday is September 2nd.
Well, it's interesting that we're talking about Yanu, because he was in one of the things I was into this week.
Yeah, what was that?
Do
you want to talk about it now?
Always Be My Maybe. I'll talk about it when we get to what we're into section.
All right.
But yeah, quickly, my movie news. Stephen Chow's confirmed that Kung Fu Hustle 2 is on.
No.
Yes, sir. All right. I'm gonna read a little bit.
When can we do
article.
Kung Fu Hustle as a thing? And I'll do a better job.
You know what? We should do Kung Fu Hustle.
Like, I'll do some real work on Kung Fu Hustle. I should have done it with Willow. I didn't do real work on Willow.
Well, do better, Lawrence.
I did some work on Willow. I didn't do real work on Willow. I'll do better.
Every week on What We Into, I put Lawrence on like a backpack at some point, and I carry him.
It's true.
But he's not heavy.
I'm basically your Yoda.
He's my brother.
And you're Mark Hamill.
No, I'm your Yoda, and you're my Mark Hamill.
Not according to your metaphor here.
You know what? Let me just get to this Kung Fu Hustle.
I'm just saying, I'm Yoda on your back. I'm eating your
podcast.
fish sticks, and you're like, dude, that's my food. What was that food that Mark Hamill ate in Star Wars?
See, was
it good?
This is that tangent shit I was talking about.
As a kid, it looked really good.
This is the tangent shit I was talking about, you So Stephen Chow, the 56-year-old actor, director, said that he's not going to star in the film, but he officially confirmed that there will be a sequel to this cult classic Kung Fu Hustle.
Oh, it is a sequel.
Yeah.
Because he is the star in the sequel.
What?
Isn't he? Stephen Chow, yeah.
No.
I
literally just read that he confirmed that he's not gonna. That was the first thing I read. The 56-year-old actor confirmed that he will not star in the film.
Words are coming out. Okay, first, listen, Mom and Dad, anyone listening who's not seen Kung Fu Hustle,
go stop what you're doing and go see it now.
It's a great movie.
Stop what you're doing and go see it now.
You do not have to be into hustling. You don't have to be into Kung Fu. It's just a good movie.
It's a fantastic movie.
It's a really fun movie. It's really interesting, and like more movies should be made like it.
Yeah, it's extremely charming. It has an amazing little story between like.
It's probably 15 years old now, right?
When? Okay, 2004.
2004, yeah.
Yeah,
boom.
Good call.
15. That's how aware I am of how much of my life I've spent doing nothing since.
And can you guess how much it made globally? Can you guess the global?
Back in the day?
Yeah, back then.
It's Chinese, right? And it was a big hit in China.
Definitely.
I'm going to say over 100 million.
Wow, Lawrence.
Yeah.
102 million.
Boom.
Global box office. All right.
That's the best I'm going to do.
All right. Well, let's see. Can you make it the hat trick? What do you think it got on Rotten Tomatoes? What was the Rotten Tomatoes score?
Oh, right now, currently? I'd say pretty high. I would say at least 87, if not more.
Wow. Okay. It was 90%.
90%. Kung Fu Hustle is great.
Bad, boy.
I'm so excited for a sequel.
So let's see what else they say about it. So now the article doesn't give too much else. They're saying that he's doing it, but he's not going to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm all for it. So that was the one, and then the second bit of film news I got is apparently Tarantino and Gerard Carmichael might be teaming up to do a Django and Zorro movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I sort of heard about this.
Yeah, there's a comic book series called Django and Zorro, and apparently it's headed to the big screen courtesy of Quentin Tarantino and Gerard Carmichael.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we will.
We still got Tarantino Star Trek to come out.
Right.
We still got Once Upon a Time in Hollywood to come out, which is coming out soon.
Which is coming out soon. So the boy's been busy.
Yeah.
But according to Calder's reporting that the movie is officially happening. The sources here is a bit okay. When the article starts saying sources are a bit confusing, I have to be call. We'll see.
We'll come back to you in 6 months or never.
You got anything else?
Yeah, because the Lord of the Rings, basically the story, we're talking about Lord of the Rings and the Amazon bought the rights. They did not buy the rights to the Peter Jackson stuff. They bought the rights to the books. And so they're coming out with their own TV show.
Okay, so they're doing their own take on the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and so when you watch the first Lord of the Rings, and they're like, there were 19 rings that were given out to the humans and the elves, and
it was 9 rings that they gave to the humans.
There were 10 other rings, so there were 19 total. But then Sauron had 1 ring of power. Right? Mm-hmm. So apparently that's all the Second Age. When we get to Frodo and Gandalf, that's like the Third Age, I believe. I don't know.
I think it's like the tail end of the Third Age.
Right, so it's like, whatever. You know more than what
I think it's the tail end of the Third Age, and my nerd heads can come and correct me, but I think it's the tail end of the Third Age because I think when Old Boy takes the throne, that's sort of the beginning of the Fourth.
Of the Fourth Age? Yeah. Okay, you're talking about
the Ranger.
Mad Mardigan. No, Aragorn.
Aragorn.
There you go. Cool.
Thank you.
Rob Robinson, Mad Mardigan. God damn it.
Right?
It just sounds too perfect.
It sounds so good.
Wait till we get to
and
my
I'm a
comments.
Swordsman. You see the sword on the wall. You see the sword on the wall.
There is a sword. My brother sent me a comment that pretty much proves I'm Mad Mardigan.
That you're Mad Mardigan?
I've been putting in work for over 3 decades.
That you're Mad Mardigan?
Apparently.
Wow, okay.
We'll get there.
Well, when we get there.
Don't let me forget.
We will talk about it.
So apparently...
I might have to fight you for the title. Yeah.
I don't know. Can we wait till you fall asleep and then start the fight?
You're going to choke me out?
So apparently the storyline was, it's covered briefly in Fellowship of the Ring at the very beginning, but it's going to be said during the Second Age. So when Sauron comes to power, when Sauron sort of like... starts building those rings and taking over those rings and handing out those rings and secretly giving himself the more powerful ring.
Did you ever play the video games, either Shadow of Mordor, I think was the sequel, and...
War of... No, you're talking...
The one with the Nemesis system, and...
I have the first one at home, PS4. We talked about it last week.
Did we?
Not on the podcast, but in private.
But you know what I'm saying?
I whispered it to you in private. I was like,
He did whisper it to me in private because I think...
We only talk in whispers.
I mean, when we're outside in public, it's more efficient.
We don't want anybody to know our secrets.
Well, I don't got no secrets.
No, we talked about Shadow Mordor.
Yeah.
I want to go back and play it.
Well, you should, because actually the character work, the story in that video game is sort of a linchpin for exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
Because one of the main character in that video game is his soul is tied to an elf. Mm-hmm. And that elf helped Sauron create the One Ring of Power.
Oh, so this is very important.
It's actually kind of brilliant. And what ends up happening, that character that you play in those video games ends up becoming one of the 9 ring wraiths. But before that,
spoiler alert, man. Someday I might actually play this game.
Oh, damn.
Come on, man.
Well...
Ruining it for everybody at home.
God damn. My bad.
I've literally had it since it was the first game I got for PS4.
Then kill yourself. That's on you, motherfucker. Like, I've been telling you to play it since it came out. I was like, yo, this game is fantastic.
You really have.
And what it does, he basically... you're playing his secret war. He fights, like, everything that you do in the game, like story-wise, the campaign or whatever, is him fighting this secret war to keep Sauron at bay.
Right.
And basically he succumbs. He ends up getting one of the rings that Sauron creates. And in the course of playing that character, you're using that ring to, basically stop him.
So you can basically spoil anything for me, because I guarantee I will forget this conversation.
Of course.
By the time I sit down and play that game
we
again.
do it all the time. I'm always like, dude, no, we didn't talk about that on the show. We talked about...
Yeah.
But, no, it's... Dude, play the game. It's awesome, and it's exactly if it's anything like what this is talking about, it could basically, you could get my predictive instinct and sort of predict watching it and see how it pans out.
Yes, it's based on everything. The most logical estimate for the time period of Amazon's Lord of the Rings is somewhere between the Second Age 1,000 years and Second Age 1,600 years. But there could be flashbacks, flash forwards, or time jumps to help to compress the amount of time covered on screen as the story tracks the major events of the Second Age.
That's what's up.
So we're talking about hundreds of years passing.
I mean, which in theory we could have multiple seasons of it in the same way that Game of Thrones did that.
Yeah.
I'd like to. Do we know who's directing?
Not yet.
Okay.
Maybe we do, but I don't know.
anyway, I'm gung ho.
Yeah,
I'm gung ho. I love those books. Those books
more
are fantastic.
Willow. We're gonna have Willow. There might be a period of time where we have Willow and Lord of the Rings. Willow on Disney Plus and Lord of the Rings on Amazon. And I'm sure.
Well, I mean,
and then more Game of Thrones prequels on HBO. It only
speaks to the truth of what we all knew back in the day, is that fantasy is awesome.
Fantasy's awesome. So good. Give us orcs.
You know what I'm saying?
Give us fire spells.
You know what I'm saying?
What's your D&D character?
Mine?
Your go-to?
I usually go to Rangers.
Okay.
Rangers or guys who are like chaotic neutral people.
If I came into like your D&D circle and I was like, "Yo, what's up, man? I'm Larry and I'm here to play D&D for the very first time ever."
Well, one, I'd slap you real hard, but like nobody talks like that.
Hook me up, yo. Who am I gonna be? What's my character, Rob? You would be like...
I would be like, you are a cleric.
Cleric,
you're gonna sit in the back and heal people.
I heal people all the time. Sexual healing. Sexual healing. What do you need? How are you? Healthy? Need a Band-Aid? No? Need a little sexual healing?
I'm pretty sure that if you're offering Band-Aids for sexual healing, you're doing it wrong.
Close your eyes. Close your eyes.
Here, you need a cold compress.
Heal. Cold. Here, now it's warm.
Here, there's a heating pad. Here, put it under your put that under your butt there. Yeah, that's nice.
Smell that? It's icy hot.
Hey, hit this lavender body oil. This will make you feel better.
Yes.
Now let's never speak of it again.
Now look me in the eyes.
Look me.
You don't speak of those things. Cleric does what a cleric does. He's the doctor. He's got a Hippocratic oath.
That's absurd.
Hippocratic oath to the D&D.
All right. Right.
That he doesn't. Right. Nobody speaks of what he does.
Right.
But honestly, everybody gets down with the cleric.
You want to play D&D?
I want to play if I can be the slutty cleric.
You know what? That's your prerogative.
I do.
That's what's great about D&D. If you want to play a slutty cleric, I'm sure there's a DM who will allow it. I'm sure Sean Calloway, if you still Calloway, if you listen.
I got an email from Sean too. Damn.
Did he?
The comments, yeah.
That boy out.
Sean, we'll read your comments here at the end, but let me know. Can I be the sexual cleric?
I think that's an easy workout.
I got one more piece of news.
All right.
Sigourney, I don't have to look this up. It's on my phone.
I already know what you're gonna say.
Yeah, which is
Sigourney Weaver is stoked to join Aykroyd and Murray in Ghostbusters 3.
But they haven't heard
with the son of Ivan Reitman directing it.
Yes, but no news yet from Ernie Hudson.
He's coming. Ernie's coming.
He better come.
Although
Ernie was like, "No, I'm not gonna do it."
Well, he actually had some comments. He said some stuff later in life that I was like, you know what? Fuck you, Ernie. That's
no, what? Don't ruin for me.
Well, he said some stuff. He said some stuff early. He was like, I felt like I should have been more in the movie initially. And I'm sure he felt a ways because he was one of the few black actors back then actually making a name for himself.
I agree that should have been.
That movie jumped him off into it. He's probably one of the few of those cats who has still been consistently like you. You always see Ernie working.
Yeah.
Ernie's never stopped working, and that was due to Ghostbusters. So for him to sort of turn around and kind of shit on it, I was like,
he also had no credentials before just applying to be a Ghostbuster, and he just got the job.
Right. So it made sense. It made sense that his part kind of like.
I'm kidding.
Are you being satirical about it? Because I honestly felt. I honestly when I read this article, I was like, "Word, Ernie,
motherfucker, you had no prior Ghostbusting experience."
I mean, your line is, "If there's a paycheck in it, I'll do whatever."
He's in it for the money, man.
I was like, "Come on, man.
Where's the love, Ernie?"
No. I was like. It rubbed me the wrong way, but I was like, all right, Ernie.
He's coming back though.
He's got to,
because they'll pay him for it.
I mean, he was in that the remake, the one with the all female remake. He was in that one.
I don't know. I forgot it. I watched it once and forgot it.
All of them that were survived at that time came back for the.
But
Janine
he
was
played
in
an
it.
alternative character, didn't he?
Yeah, he they all did. They all came back and played like
just an ice cream man or whatever he was.
I don't remember his character.
He was like a janitor. Or
was he?
No, we don't even know. That's how bad that movie is.
Well, I remember...
It's not janitor, it's a superintendent.
I remember it's a custodial dick.
I like superintendent.
Superintendent. But no, they all came back for the all-female remake.
Yeah, okay.
Survived.
As
Murray was in it. Aykroyd was in it.
So we're talking about Jason Reitman's Ghostbusters 3. If you don't know,
and Sigourney's like, yeah, I can't. I
can't believe they got Sigourney back. That's the part of the news I missed. I was like, she's coming back, really? Awesome.
I'm with Sigourney. I'm on board with it. Like if Sigourney's on board, I'm there.
It's supposed to be a bunch of teenagers, right?
I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm there. I don't care.
Just give me Sigourney.
If there's 3/4 of that, I guess five. The only person I wish would come back for it was Rick Moranis. If Rick came back...
Yes. Well, okay, out of all of the original Ghostbusters, including Moranis, Harold Ramis, who's dead, we understand.
R.I.P. Ramis.
Ernie Hudson, Sigourney Weaver, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd. Out of all those people, what's the one person you want to see most in the movie?
I think it's Sigourney.
Me too.
I think it's Sigourney.
100%.
I remember that boob shot from the first movie.
I was just thinking about that boob shot.
That's
exactly what I was seeing.
Because I remember the first time I caught it, and I was like, "Is that?" And this is VHS time when you had to like rewind it, pause. Because I had the cheap VCR that didn't have the slow mo.
No.
But yeah, and I remember being like, "Boob."
Here's a boob.
That's a boob. And it happens so quickly, and if you're not paying attention, you will miss it.
Yep.
But there is definitely a full-on Sigourney Weaver boob in Ghostbusters 1.
There's no full-on boob in Alien.
No.
There's no full-on boob on Aliens.
You get the side boob with the shirt. She got the little V-neck T-shirt on, but you don't get like full boob. It's a full boob shot in Ghostbusters 1.
I'm looking up Sigourney Weaver nudity right now.
I'm sure she did other things in the nude. I can't think of any of them, but I love Sigourney. I love her. And if she's coming back for Ghostbusters 3, I'm there with bells.
She's a tall, lanky woman, isn't she?
Mm-hmm. And gorgeous.
Oh, well, there's lots of stuff where she was nude. And,
yeah,
oh,
that's
man.
What I'm saying. She did a bunch of stuff, probably.
She's all over this.
All right. Keep it in your pants there, Captain.
She's late.
We still got what we're into to get into.
She is fantastic.
Yeah. Yes, she is. I've been saying it.
I shouldn't have looked at that. Sorry. It's just there.
I wish Laura listened to this.
You can do whatever you want with it. Who doesn't listen? If you were listening to this, do you not want to see Sigourney Weaver's boobs at this moment?
All the time.
Right at the moment?
And 8-9-year-old me remembers them being immaculate.
Like, what's the point? Like, there's so many Sigourney Weaver boobs, immaculate boobs on the internet. And they're going to cover them up in Avatar? For a PG-13... Like, it's just like, everyone has the internet. Show some nips. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this. When we watched Avatar, I think 2 weeks ago, and I talked about what we into the segment or whatever. So my TV now is so clear that, like, you can literally see all their nips.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm just excited about that. You can see all the
was
blue nubby nips.
Was that just a low-key brag on your TV?
Kind of.
You fucking asshole.
But you can literally see that. I thought they just did. I thought they never. To me, I thought that like when you saw it on the screen or you saw it like on normal TVs, like you could not see. Like they just never put the nips in. They didn't. Somebody did not CGI those nips. But they did, and you can see them on a really nice TV.
Okay, wow, that's a takeaway from that. All right,
I got nothing else. You want to move into what we into?
Yeah, let's jump in.
What we
into this week?
What was what's your thing?
Well, the main thing I was into this week was my website. I thought
you said your wife's site.
My wife's site?
I know your website.
My website.
Plug your wife's site. Talk about your wife.
Plug my website. My website real quick. I finally set up a website, for myself.
Who did you have me on the? Because you sent me a.
I think I sent you a link. And was
you
like,
sent me the link.
I
checked out the link. I sent some nice constructive comments, and then whoever else was on that thread with me, basically blew you up and was like, "Dude, no, this is not good. This is wrong.
Word,
this
doesn't remember that.
They were like, change this font, do this. This totally distracts from this."
Yeah.
Who was that?
That's my brother from that's my boy Chris from my brother from another mother out in Texas.
So he's like me? Did you do a podcast with him?
No, but he listens.
Okay, good.
You remember we had that surge of pocket in Texas of listeners?
Katy, Texas.
Yeah, that's my boy.
This is Katy, Texas.
Yeah, that's
What's
Katy,
up,
Texas.
Katy, Texas?
Shout out to my boys.
He was right though, because some of those
he was right.
Some of those fonts they did not work.
Yeah,
but you fixed them very quickly.
Well, that's shout out to this Website Wink site.
Wix.
Wix site.
I'm going to unplug Wix, even though we're not getting paid for them.
Yeah, I plug them too because I made that whole thing in literally an afternoon or Sunday afternoon.
For sure. My site's through Wix.
Hey, I just created a Wix website for my business. Let me show you how I did it. Let's go to Wix.com. I can add anything I want and change things as I go.
LauraStyle.com.
You have one too?
Yep.
I'm gonna check yours out.
You should.
Yeah, I hadn't before, but
looks way better than yours. Just saying.
Oh, okay. Well, now
not way better.
Well, now you call down the thunder.
Definitely better.
Now I'm gonna definitely go on there and
come on,
I'm gonna go ham.
Go ham.
I'm gonna go ham.
Mine has a New York Times quote on the front.
What's that?
Wait,
you low-key shithead. You said mine has a New York Times quote on the front, didn't it? Didn't you? You piece of shit. All right.
I want to do a website for our podcast, though. All right. I keep meaning to. I've been lazy about it. I'm sorry.
Don't worry. I took care of it on my website.
I was apologizing to you. I was apologizing to all the listeners of What We Into who've been demanding of What We Into.
Don't worry,
website.
guys. I took care of it on my site. Shine brighter at winksite.com/my site.
I don't, shine brighter. I shine pretty bright.
And it's shine with a Y instead of an I because I'm an asshole.
Do I have to shine more?
Yes.
I'm pretty exhausted just from shining as bright as I've been shining.
Well, imagine how the sun feels, Larry. Imagine that.
Yeah, well, the sun gets all the credit, doesn't it?
A little bit. Giver of life and all that. And light. And all that.
So you were into your website.
I was into my website. And then subsequently, I was into When They See Us by Ava DuVernay.
Who you were in the park with?
I don't know names. I just got lost.
Where did you see the lady?
One lady.
The female jogger was severely beaten and raped.
Every black male who was in the park last night is a suspect. I need all of them.
What's going on with my son?
Your son was involved in a rape in Central Park.
What?
No,
wait a
minute.
Wait a second. They saw you rape the lady.
I didn't see a lady or hit anyone. I didn't see any lady.
Kevin.
I didn't see any lady.
I want to see my son right now. Right now.
Whatever they said I did, I didn't.
So how is that different than the Ken Burns documentary?
Well, it wasn't a documentary. It was a dramatization of the events. And
okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was asking.
From the point of view of a bunch of the main characters, the five, the prosecuting DA, like a bunch of central figures to everything that sort of happened. And I don't know if you've heard some of the backlash that this...
I haven't heard anything about that, no.
Well, there's a woman who Felicity Huffman portrays, and I think she is basically the head of the Special Victims Unit, ostensibly.
Right.
For Manhattan.
Okay.
And she was the one who was responsible for basically coercing or getting the police to coerce these confessions out of these children.
Yes. Because they're all kids, like
the oldest was 16 years old.
Yeah, so basically they're
they were
all
14, 15.
Young black males hanging out
just
in
hanging out
Central
in the park. They're just being kids, and these particular five had literally had nothing to do with anything. They were in the park just hanging out. I mean, by all accounts. And what was crazy is...
and they're convinced to basically come out and say, "Oh yeah, we did rape this white woman."
They basically went to Harlem, pulled a whole bunch of little black kids into a precinct, sweated a bunch of them, got a bunch of them to say that we're coerced into saying that XYZ was in the park, blah blah blah, and there's this great. Honestly, there's been a lot of articles about this week, especially since it dropped last week. And they're all legit. Because it's like I said, for me, I remember being here and being around for this when it was going down here in New York, and so watching this dramatization of it, kind of from it's It's gut wrenching. It's a gut punch, and so I had to turn it off a few times. I was like, "Yo, this is, whoo, yeah." And it wasn't something that I could watch at night. I had to watch it with daylight because there had to be something afterwards that I could go out and do to sort of like get. It's not an easy watch because they basically frame these kids, send them to jail. One of them went to like hard jail. Like there was because most of them were like 14 and 15. They basically did juvie and then got out. But one of them was 16 and literally only went to the police station because the police were pulling his man in, and he was like, "Yo, your mom would kill me if I let you go down there by yourself like this." That was the only reason he was even at the precinct. And he was the oldest one there, and he was the one that ended up going to like real jail, and the circumstances that he kind of had
like 8 years, right, or something
like 8. No, it was something like 13.
Oof,
it was 13, and hard jail, like multiple jails, because he had gotten transferred around a bunch.
Just for being black, and they needed somebody to blame it on.
Yeah. And
it turns out she was lying the whole time, right?
Well, it paints this DA person really badly. This Linda Feinstein person, and subsequent she's been removed from a bunch of boards that she was on, and this calls for Amazon to boycott because she basically turned this case made her career. She subsequently started writing like. She became writer.
She profited off this case.
She became like a mystery.
She made a career out of this.
She became a mystery crime novelist. Especially, that I was already saying Law and Order SVU.
It makes sense. She knew how to fictionalize this shit.
Law and Order SVU is credit to her. Like Dick Wolf called her up and was like, "Yo, I want you to talk." She has a real strong relationship with Mariska Hargitay. And the woman who played the ADA I forget the actress's name.
Yeah.
But like in all those seasons, like she this made her career, and so it came out like she basically said that Ava DuVernay has sort of painted her in this. Basically, she says Ava DuVernay's portrayal of her is lies. She's lying basically in her portrayal of her.
What do you think?
Well, Ava came out in an interview and she was like, "Hey, well, this is what happened," because she basically reached anybody who she is in the video in the movie. She reached out to and was like, "Hey, I'm writing this movie and I'd like I'd like to interview you for it and let you know the script." And apparently, this woman Linda Feinstein, she was like, she wanted to negotiate how she was portrayed in, or how she was going to be interviewed in it. She wanted to like have script approval and basically Ava was like, "Well, you know how that ended." It culminates with they show you the cast member, the people who play these people, and then they show you the real life photo of them now. It's incredibly powerful and incredibly strong, and it's hard to watch, but everyone should watch it. You should absolutely watch it.
And that's exactly how I feel about Chernobyl, which also finished up this week. And it was a similar thing. It was a true event that documentaries have been written about, and lots of information has already come out about. But the dramatization of it, I think, really brings a different level home to you. Because it hits you in a way that's... probably what you're experiencing while watching this, that's just different than if you're watching a documentary about it. Documentaries are a little more removed and a little reserved, and the facts are there, and the truth is there.
Do you remember the events of Chernobyl, like in like life, like because it happened while we were,
Yeah, because that was 84 is when it happens, and then 86 is for the most part when it's resolved. So I was 4 and 6, and you were 3 and 5.
Right.
So we were too young to really get it. But I think, I mean, it's a great series on HBO, and I've talked for the last 3 weeks while watching it. Finish it up or watch it if you get a chance. Cause
I started it. It's compelling, and I'm gonna go back. But
it's scary how fucked up. And like we're gonna talk about Godzilla here in a minute, but like Godzilla is all about radiation. You know what I mean? And Chernobyl shows you what radiation is really about.
Right.
Godzilla is also about Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Right. It's mad political.
It's mad political. It's also about atomic weapons being dropped on. And Chernobyl is showing you the reality of what those weapons really did, whereas Godzilla is a metaphor for what those weapons are and what they represent. But to see that just it's hardcore. It's awesome. I highly recommend watching it. For a long time, the big takeaway is that for a long time, nuclear power plants and people that wanted to push that sort of technology, and they're still pushing it as an answer to
energy crisis.
Energy crisis, right? They've said, well, only 41 people died at Chernobyl. That's the worst disaster there's ever been for nuclear energy.
And see, this is the selfishness of it all, because they're talking about the people who died and not the people who not the people in the land and the subsequent displacement and the people they're not totaling all of the factors.
And the 100,000 people who suffer from cancer all across that region,
right?
And they're still suffering.
Right? Yeah,
there's people.
They're not talking about the overall loss of life.
There was someone right now today who went to a doctor and got diagnosed with cancer. There was you could probably link to Chernobyl today, and that person will probably eventually die because of that. But that's not considered, yeah. So, and we have hundreds of these things across, the planet, and when you watch the Chernobyl documentary, it gives good reason to why this accident happened.
Limited miniseries,
miniseries, yeah. When you watch the limited miniseries, it gives a good example. Not example. It gives a good reason for why this thing happened and why hopefully it won't ever happen again. If you watch if you read the play, Anne Washburn's play, Mr. Burns. I don't remember if that's the entire title, but basically it's a play, right, that Anne Washburn wrote about a culture that falls apart and all of their nuclear reactors explode, and then it jumps 20 years into the future, and everybody's obsessed with The Simpsons, and that's how they sort of tell their stories. It's through imagining The Simpsons, and then it jumps another 20 years, and The Simpsons have become basically a religion.
No shit.
It's interesting. It went up at Playwrights Horizons. It was a very, very awesome play. I believe Playwrights Horizons. I didn't actually see it, but I read the play, and it was great. I kind of came onto it a little late in the game.
Awesome. The movie that I was most into this week was Black Panther.
Really?
Yeah.
You watched it again?
I watched it twice.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's how
many times have you seen it before that?
Probably 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
But having rewatched it these last couple of times, it solidifies it as the best Marvel movie.
Really?
It goes Black Panther, Endgame, Blade. Those are the 3 best Marvel movies ever.
Why do you say that?
Go back and watch Black Panther's last scene.
Okay. I agree. I agree. Last scene's amazing.
That's enough of a here's my facts. Here's the receipts for it. Just that I'm talking about not the last scene with him and Killmonger. I'm talking about the post-credit scene, the very last scene of the movie.
Post-credits? I don't remember.
It's Wakanda coming out to the world at the UN.
Right.
Go back and watch that scene. Just that scene alone is enough for me to be like, this is the best Marvel movie that they've made, hands down.
Okay.
And then the rest of it, like the technology, the concepts, the costumes, that sequence where they go to capture Andy Serkis. Andy Serkis.
I agree, he's awesome in it. Yeah, he's so good.
Like, go back and watch Black Panther and tell me it's not the best Marvel movie. And I just finished seeing Endgame, and it pushed Endgame to a second for me. It pushed Endgame to a second for me.
I'll tell you,
because I think Endgame had many, many, many flaws in it. Many, many flaws. I can't find one flaw in Black Panther. All of it's fire.
That's a good argument.
From start of that movie to the end of it. The scene where he's planning the infiltration of the caravan of cars, or whatever, on that sand table, and he's manipulating the sand. Like name a better Marvel movie than Black Panther, and I'll slap it down.
I'll tell you Daisy's favorite line, which she's brought up
numerous times. I already know the one. It's in the lab. I already know.
I caught them sneakers. I don't know why Daisy brings it up. Once a week, Daisy she'll be like, I like that part, blah, blah, blah. Like, I know, Daisy. She's like, I caught them sneakers. I'm like, great, awesome.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
And I watched it twice because the world is burning. And especially in America right now, because it's political in a way that like resonates so hard with me. Like I was watching it and I was like, yo, I fucks with Killmonger. Like I've been watching.
Yeah, well, that's
And it's crazy because it happens a couple times. There's a couple characters in it that have that dynamic. When Killmonger ostensibly kills T'Challa and takes the throne, his girlfriend Nakia, she comes to Okoye, the head of the Dorlot, basically the head of the King's Royal Guard, and she's like, "Yo, we gotta bounce." And she's like, "What? I can't do that. I'm a general." Mm-hmm. And then regardless of who sits on the throne, I'm loyal to my country. I'm not a spy. I can't just like dip out. Right. And you see both of their perspectives from the same way. But that scene ends with them being like, you serve your country, and she's like, no, I save my country. Yeah. And there's these two really strong like, yo, I get where you're coming from, but like, I don't. These days, I just resonated so much with what's your boy who's
Chadwick?
Your boy who plays Killmonger.
Michael B. Jordan.
I just resonated so much with that character. These last few years.
He's the best he's ever been in that movie.
Yeah, I agree.
He's a little questionable in some of the Creed stuff.
Yeah,
and I feel like in some other movies,
this one,
I don't know about
this
you,
one was
he's so good.
This one was like. It was flawless. It's a flaw, like from start to finish. The movie is flawless. There hasn't been a better movie. This was Marvel's opus. That Marvel didn't do a better movie than this in every way. What else you got?
I could talk about Black Panther all day.
I could, Panther. And we should at one point have a reviewing of it. I think you should go back and watch it, and then we could talk about it next week and be like, I agree.
I watched a movie that was not good called The Perfection. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't because I saw the little trailer that Netflix does, and I was like, nah. But I like both those actresses.
Yeah,
because
me too.
I've seen them.
That's girl is the girl Allison from Williams. Logan Browning.
One of them does. One of them is from Dear White People.
Yes,
and the other one is from.
I think Allison Williams is from Get Out.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah,
she plays the girlfriend in Get Out.
Yeah,
and then the other actress is from Dear White People.
They deserve a better script.
Really?
Yeah,
they're both phenomenal actresses. But the movie looked trash.
I'm trying to remember. It's basically like two celloists who play together, and they.
It looks like Poor Man's Black Swan.
It is. It is a Poor Man's Black Swan. It's basic, but it's a little manipulative in the sense of like it suddenly becomes about their teacher was molesting them, so one of them ended up chopping off the black girl's hand. In order to prove to her that like her teacher was molesting her. I mean, it's bonkers. It's in not a good way. Okay, don't watch it. I don't even want to spend more time on it.
Honestly, I saw it. It came up in my feed, and I was like, I like both of y'all, but that looks terrible.
It had promise. It did not look terrible what I saw. But Laurel put it on, so I watched it for my wife, and we both agreed it was terrible.
Dude, it looked terrible. The scene I watched was she was walking down the road and she was tripping or something, and she's like, blah, blah, here, drink this water. And next thing, they're cutting to something else where. I was like, nope, and nope. And I like both of y'all. Nope. My spidey sense for that kind of shit is mad fine-tuned these days, my G. Mad fine-tuned.
I got one more thing.
Go ahead.
So it's up to you if you want to go first or I'll go first.
I got two more things, but you go ahead.
Did you watch Black Mirror? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I did watch Black Mirror, but I wasn't gonna.
You don't bring it up because it's awkward.
Well, no,
not
because it's awkward. Because I've been trying to cut my list down. I got way more on my list than.
So you watched Striking Vipers?
I did,
and this was not. You were not going to talk about it.
Well, it wasn't what
you were not going to talk about. What it would be like if you and I played a VR game
and then fucked each other.
And then fucked each other.
Not one time.
You're not going to bring it up.
Why would I? Have you thought about that?
So I watched Striking Vipers.
Striking Vipers. It's the first episode of the new Black Mirror series, and I gotta say, honestly, shout out to the End Game because Anthony Mackie's in it.
Yeah.
And the cat from they're both Marvel cats. The Anthony Mackie and the dude who plays
Black Mantis.
God, what was he?
Yahal Abdul Mateen II.
He was in. Not a Marvel, but he was in
He's an Aquaman. He's Black Mantis.
That's right.
Aquaman.
You're right.
That's what I'm saying.
But no, the other thing it was that the Get Down. He was in the Get Down.
Oh, he's the Get Down dude. Yeah. Because exactly. So Get Down dude.
The Get Down dude.
Black Mantis dude.
Black Mantis. Yeah.
He was terrible in Aquaman. I thought.
Yeah. He was bad.
He was bad. He's good in this.
He's good. He's good in a lot of things, but he was good in this. He was real good in this.
What else has he been in? Do you remember?
He's been in a lot of things recently. I felt like he was in Luke Cage, but I think I'm wrong about that.
The app says that we need to do it within the hour. It's peak fertility.
Just ate so much, I don't know if I can.
I'll only love
Want to know where I'm going after I leave here? Mariela.
as the sea. You know the thing about you? Sometimes you just sort of go away. I love you till then. There's something going on.
Something going on.
That's what I said. Not 1 minute more.
Nothing is going on. I promise.
So the basic premise is that two guys, basically me and you.
But basically the premise is two college friends.
I'm black and you're black. We're both black. We go to college.
Who have college. This, we go to college and they play this video game, blah, 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 blah. Cut to like 11 years later, they're, approaching 40 or whatever, and it's this one's birthday. And he brings them a copy of that game from college that they used to play. Only this one is VR.
It's a fighting game.
It's a fighting game.
Like Street Fighter.
Yeah, it's like King of the Ring or some shit like that. But the caveat is that in the virtual world, they go into these avatars ostensibly and then have sex with each other.
Yeah. So Yaya plays the female character.
Who's Yaya?
He's
the actor?
He's Carl. Yeah. The actor Yaya. Yahya Abdul-Mateen.
Oh,
II,
that's his name. Okay, yeah, okay.
So Carl
And
plays
Anthony
the female
Mackie
character.
plays
Anthony
Danny.
Mackie's character Danny plays the male character, who's like this,
who's married and has a child. And him and his at the point that this starts happening, him and his wife are trying to have another baby.
Yeah, so they already have one. He's already a father.
he's already a dad.
The other guy's single for the most part.
Yeah, he's
right?
a single dude. And he's on dating apps and like dating like younger women and all that. And so he's basically me.
Yeah,
he's basically me.
So it's Black Mirror. So it's sort of set in the future. So VR is a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I did. I had an issue.
I had an issue with the premise first, so that then we'll talk about the issues.
What do you mean? The premise of this?
The premise. So basically, they play this VR game.
Yeah, just sell it to them.
So Rob's in his house. I'm in my house. We're playing a VR game.
Fucking each other,
and then they end up like having this crazy sex through VR.
Right.
It just sort of happens. They're fighting.
Right.
But then it devolves into sex.
Yeah, it devolves into sex. It starts with like a kiss, and then
And then it grows into this full on affair where every night
it's like
video.
They have basically video game addiction, and like. And the wife notices like he forgets his anniversary, and and basically he has to like call it off because he's like, this is cheating, and the other guy's like, it's not cheating.
And then they meet in real life,
yeah,
and because they're so confused,
right?
They're like, what do we do? Because is this real, or is this just a VR
are we gay
thing?
now? Blah,
so
blah,
they
blah.
try it out and they kiss, and then they get into a huge fight, and Anthony Mackie's character gets arrested. And basically,
honestly, I haven't finished the episode yet.
Oh,
I haven't finished it yet.
Oh, I won't ruin it for you.
I'm about 2/3. I was trying to watch it. I was trying to finish it at work before that's why it's not on the list because I didn't finish it.
Okay, but it's basically the idea of like if you can play VR with your best friend, and it suddenly becomes sexy, and you're turned on by it, and you both like it. Is that?
Well, I think I think because sexuality is a spectrum. I don't think it needs. I mean, as long as you're being honest with motherfuckers, I don't think it matters.
It ends very well. In a good way. Yeah.
Well,
in a way I would talk about, but I won't because I don't want to.
I like the premise. I thought it was interesting because I was like, wow, we're telling these stories now. This is what I had issues with is that this didn't feel very Black Mirror-y to me. Because most of the time, Black Mirror had like a more futuristic bent. We've already seen this technology in a Black Mirror episode with the like virtual reality thing where you put it on your
because it's way more advanced than current VR.
It definitely didn't feel like a Black Mirror episode. It felt like just like a Netflix one-off to me. And that's kind of where the issue I had with it, at least so far. And it may be resolved when I see the end of it, but like so far I was like, all right, I like the premise, but it seems it also seems like they've extended the length of the episodes quite a bit.
Yeah.
They didn't used to be an hour and change long. Yeah. This is almost like a little mini movie.
They hit on a really good premise, I think. And I don't know, to me...
Have you seen any more of the seasons?
No, this is the only one I've seen so far. And what I think is very great and interesting about this episode is that they're two strong black men going through this role.
Right.
Like, even if you were to do Me and You...
Right.
Like there's...
Well, no, the representation definitely is on point.
Yeah.
Like...
You and I are a little...
Which I will... Like, that's part of one of the things I'm going to get... one of my last things, but go ahead.
Well, this guy... Because the guy who plays Yaha Abdul Mateen, he's a very masculine black male.
Oh, yeah.
Anthony Mackie is very masculine as well. He's Falcon. So to have these two guys not only kiss in a VR simulated thing, but actually kiss in the episode...
Right.
To explore their own sexuality and to try to determine what it is about this experience that is so important to them is awesome.
Well,
to
the
me.
writing in the episode is tantamount to brilliant. It's very brilliant writing in this episode.
Okay.
Based on like I was talking about that show Easy.
Yeah.
For the last few weeks, and it all of it deals with relationships and sort of like and the transition, the relationships and like that. And that's what it felt like to me. This felt like a very long episode of Easy.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like a Black Mirror episode to me.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it devolved me, because I was like, black man sexuality, yeah, great, awesome.
Yeah.
I'm a black man and I'm good with my sexuality.
Yeah, exactly.
This is great to see.
Because the whole time I was watching with Laurel, she was like, what if it was you and Rob doing this? And I was like,
wait, Laurel said that?
Yeah. I was like, well...
And what did you say? What was your response?
I was like, I don't want to get with Rob, first off.
Wait, did you guys have the discussion of whether or not that would be cheating? Is that something that you guys...
No.
What was the discussion like after you guys watched this episode together?
It's more like discussion while we're watching it.
Uh-huh.
But she was like, yeah, it's basically you and Rob, right? You're doing your podcast and like somehow VR, you're playing your video games, you end up like doing each other, right? She was like, who would be the girl and who'd be the guy?
Wait, what?
That was mostly what she was interested in. Like, who would be the girl and who would be the guy?
Well, see, I think this is where, as straight people, we have a real weird... why does one person have to be a girl and one person have to be a guy? Why can't it just be...
That was just the confines of what the show set up.
Oh,
because basically,
right?
Remember,
because he was his character. Avatar that he had.
Black
was
Man
the girl.
just plays the kung fu, the Chun-Li character, and then basically Anthony Mackie plays the Rai character, and they end up like having sex in the middle of the game. All that was interesting. I was into it, and I was like,
so what did you say?
I don't remember. I'd probably end up playing the girl. That's me. Every time I play an RPG, I'm always playing the girl.
That's true.
I would be the girl. Just be honest.
It's because of talking to you, I started playing more of my avatars as girls.
Well,
now. I was like, Larry has a good point. So many of these games are driven by male protagonists. Wouldn't he? Yeah,
stereotypically toxic masculine protagonists.
True.
So I almost always choose female characters when I'm playing my RPGs.
You actually got me started doing that too.
It's just more interesting. My issue with the show actually has nothing to do with any of the sex. I'm like, yeah, sure, fine, I'd fuck Rob in VR. It's no big deal, whatever. If it was good, it works out. He'd be a girl anyways. Who cares? Or if we're on a desert island, fine, and fuck Rob. I don't care. Fuck Rob all the time. We'll do it. It's fine. It could be. My point is like, there's way more worse choices of people that I could bang than you. In the world, way more worse.
I would be a tender lover.
Yeah, exactly.
A very gentle,
and tender. Loved it. It'd be perfect.
I would like sip some more of that rosé.
Take care of me. I know you would.
Hey, you want some more rosé,
I'm not worried
Larry?
about that. What I'm worried about is that they're playing basically a Street Fighter style game that's somehow also optimized to be a sex simulator.
Yeah, you remember that there was a scene where he was talking about like, I've done it with other people in the simulator and it wasn't the same as you.
Yeah.
I fucked a panda. Because of one of the characters in the page, like, yo, I fucked a panda.
What game are you playing?
I was like, word? I was like, yo, that was my thing too. I was like,
Is this a Sims video game? Like where you can play anybody, or is this a fighting game? I tried to bring it up to Laurel, and she got so pissed off, and she's like, "That's not what this episode's about.
Really?
You should be paying attention to what this is." I'm like, "No, I just have a problem with the tech." What is the tech? What is the tech telling us here?
Well, see, it's interesting because you remember when they had that initial fight with it. He was like, "It's not cheating. It's like porn."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Wow."
Okay.
So in the future, I guess the line between video games and porn will blur, and you can just fuck avatars and stuff. I
don't
mean,
think
here's
that makes
hoping, I guess.
I don't think so,
Yeah.
because I think if you want to make a good fighting game, you make a good fighting game. You don't also include a sex simulator in that fighting game,
I don't know.
in case.
You know what? I think I might have to disagree. I think you include that sex simulator and make a shit ton of money from the freaks and perverts who come out of the
You think
word
it'll just
work.
be so stock that any game you play in the future will just also be able to have sex with any other character?
Could be.
Maybe. Imagine Saget having sex with, like, Rye.
Tiger. I mean, it's, yeah. Look,
E. Honda
not for nothing.
having sex with Dosland.
Look, some of those pile drivers from Zangief were a little provocative.
I
the
would
69 double reverse jump up in the air and come down on your head.
You'd be Zangief.
Now, you know what? I would be Balrog, motherfucker. All fist and knuckles. I'd be the Mike Tyson kid.
Before we move on, apparently the original script, what they were writing and working on, was a company, like a software company or some sort of like company that was like had to do some kind of like after hours kind of like community or company building exercise, and they were supposed to go into VR and sing the songs from Grease and do like a musical of Grease, but they didn't know who they were. So basically, you're at work with everybody you work with, guys and girls included, and you have to go do this company outing, and you have to sing the songs from Grease, but you don't know who the other people are. So you could be John Travolta, whereas your buddy Rick could be some of the other characters, but you don't know who's who. And so they end up like kind of having sex with each other, but they don't know who's who in the company. But then they got kind of wrapped around the idea that like it's much more interesting if it's just two best friends who know each other and are black and are both males and kind of are playing video games and are fighting and doing this fighting video game thing and end up falling for each other. And so that's how the story changed.
That's what you're talking about for the first episode.
That's for that first episode. That's where it came from. It was originally supposed to be a company of all these different people. It was also an interesting premise. Just from a writing standpoint, I'm fascinated by that. How like you go from one premise and this is what we're writing to, you know, what's really interesting. They do this with sort of Dark Phoenix as well, which I'll get to in a little bit. But they change the core idea to make it something more interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. What else you got? That's it for me, by the way.
Those are my standouts. It's just a bunch. Basically, like I said, by the end of this work week, Always Be My Maybe. That's my Keanu.
It's on my list. Yeah.
Always Be My Maybe. It's with Abby Wong, and I forget the other actor's name, Benjamin or Benedict something.
Yeah.
I think he's a Korean cat. But
it's on Netflix right now.
It's on Netflix right now. It's awesome.
Is that the dude from Ant-Man and the Wasp?
That's exactly the dude from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
He's funny in Ant-Man and the Wasp, too.
Well, yeah, he's great.
Trying to do the magic tricks. He's like the FBI agent, yeah.
Apparently, he and Abby wrote this together.
Yeah,
it's
awesome.
And they're very, very good in it. And it's a very it's one of these, like how we're always talking about diversity matters. Diversity matters. It's a very specific cultural thing. It takes place in San Francisco, so that even.
But don't ruin it for me because I want to watch it.
I won't. It's fantastic.
But does
Keanu's in it, and
yes,
he makes an amazing cameo in it. An amazing cameo.
Does it subvert the traditional romantic comedy tropes?
In some ways, yes, but I mean, you
it's
get
still
it.
what it is. Okay,
it's more about like the sort of it's done in a way that it's less about the formula of the rom-com and more about the cultural experience of these two people as, you know, Americans, but also not Americans. You know what I'm saying?
Got it.
Very good. And then a bunch of anime, The anime was I had a bunch of anime. Some of them I think I may have even mentioned on the podcast before. Sirius the Jaeger, Naruto, The Legend of the Stone of Gilel. And then the last thing I was into, which was fucking amazing, is Good Omens.
Oh, I want to watch it. Yeah. So Neil Gaiman's Good Omens. What's that on? Do you know?
It's on Amazon.
Amazon. Okay.
It's incredible.
I am an angel. You are a demon. We're hereditary enemies. Get thee behind me, foul fiend. After you.
Armageddon's days away, and we've lost the Antichrist. We have to work together.
We have nothing whatsoever in common. I don't even like you.
You do.
David Tennant and...
which is the dude from Jessica Jones who plays the main villain? David Tennant. Yeah. So that's the best.
Purple Man.
Best season is the first one of Jessica Jones because of him as the villain. Yeah.
Incredible. And I Martin something. I forget the name of.
I'll watch it and we'll get back to it. I'm also working through Doom Patrol.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you enjoying that?
I love it. Yeah, it's great.
I told you it's fucking great.
I can only really get through one episode a night before I start to get drowsy because it is very cerebral and I want to pay attention to it. I don't want to just let it float away.
Don't let it flow. Yeah. Each episode is each episode links to the other one in unusual ways, in ways you're not like. You got to pay attention to because you're like, what?
It's really well done. Doom Patrol.
I've been saying it, man.
It should not be buried on DC.
No, it shouldn't.
It should be.
The acting, the writing, the breaking of the fourth wall, the subversiveness of it.
It's definitely better than Umbrella Company
by a lot.
By a lot. Excuse me.
By a lot. I've been saying it for weeks, man. Doom Patrol. I brought it up every week that I was watching it. I would bring it up because every episode was fire.
Anything else?
No, Good Omens was the highlights. There's a bunch of random things. Sicario 2, iZombie, Traveler Season 3, AP Bio, which is really funny, but Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
You want to talk about Sekiro, the Guardian Ape?
Oh, you were into it this week. Because I haven't played any. There's nothing from the video games that I've been into this week because I haven't played anything.
Last week you came over. I beat the girl who was there.
Right.
Kind of wherever she was.
But you got the grade 8.
I'm at the grade 8 now. I've been on it for 4 or 5 days.
Well,
today
because he has a. How much of it have you beaten?
Okay,
because I don't want to ruin it for you.
No, you're not going to ruin it for me because
you already watched YouTube.
No, the game ruins it for me, and I'll tell you why the game ruins it for me. Because when I fight a bad guy,
and you think he's dead,
when I fight a big villain, and I think he's dead because he has a health bar. I like to believe that the game is honest with me,
right?
And that health bar, as soon as that diminishes, then he's actually dead.
Gone. Yeah.
So I'm fighting this ape, right?
Wait! But before you continue, do you remember me telling you? Tell me when you get to the grade 8.
Yeah. No, I know. That's what I'm telling you. Okay.
So
I knew that there was something sneaky going on.
Now continue. So what happens when you fight this guy?
So you drop down into this this little lagoon.
It's
sort
basically
of
like a Rancor
area.
pit.
Yeah, it's a Rancor pit. You drop down into a gigantic Rancor pit that has dead trees around. There's an ape down there. He immediately comes alive and starts kicking your ass. You fight him for a while. He has a couple moves. One of the most interesting moves, and I showed this to my kids because they love it. It's awesome. He poops in his hand and throws the poop at you, and it poisons you if it hits you. There's another move where if you come up behind him, he's sitting down and his back is turned to you and he's trying to get himself ready. He farts on you and also poisons you. All of which I was able to figure out and deal with. Okay? And so you jump up on him. He's got this sword through his neck already. Right?
Yeah.
And so the finishing move is you finally beat him after about an hour worth of trying about 20 different times.
And you take that sword and you wring his head right off.
Exactly. You take the sword that's already sticking out his neck and you wrench it to the right and his head falls off and you...
Victory!
Shinobi execution. And you're just sitting there and you're proud of yourself.
And then?
You used all of your health. It took all of your strength, all of your ability.
You succumbed a mountainous villain.
Mountainous villain. You got 1 hit left.
Woo!
And all of a sudden...
the
motherfucker comes back to life without a head, picks up his head, and starts beating the shit out of you even worse.
I didn't want to ruin the surprise, but I knew about that. That was one of the when that game came out. That was one of the first boss battles I watched over and over again because it was so incredible.
Pissed off. I thought I had him. I thought it was right around the time where I was talking some shit to you too, and I was like, I'm getting pretty good at this game. I even beat somebody right in front of you.
Do you remember when I told you I was like, yo, tell me when you get to the 8. When was it? I think it was like the first or second week you had the game.
It's not as bad as Genichiro, because Genichiro had 3 of those. Genichiro had the first one.
Is that the drunk guy? The guy who...
No, that was Goza the drunk. This is Genichiro, who basically had the bow and arrow.
Oh, right.
Who took me forever. That took me a week and over 100 tries. I've really only put about 20 to 30 tries into the ape. I'm still learning what his moveset is. Dodging his poops, avoiding his farts. It sounds funny. It's actually really...
It's amazing.
Really traumatizing. I might be
love
losing
that boss
steam,
battle.
though. Because the game is so easy in itself right now. Like, the world, like, you're just...
You're pretty much maxed out at this point, right?
Nah, there's still some things I can learn to upgrade my character, but, like, for the most part, like, I'm just a ninja roaming the world, kicking everybody's ass until I get to a mini-boss or a boss, and then they kick my ass for almost a week straight, and then finally I overcome them. I don't know. You're like, the balance of that is off to me. Like,
having played the other previous titles by this developer,
the balance is off to me. It's harder than the other
like
ones.
that.
Yeah. The other ones would take me about, a couple days, a day or two. But really after about 2, maybe 3 days, I would overcome it and get it. This is taking me 5 to 6 days to overcome these bosses.
Using the same amount of time?
Yeah.
I mean, did you have more time then?
Yeah, I'd say about the same investment. I'd say my skills are, at this point with this game, stronger than they were with Dark Souls.
Really?
Yeah, it's a different type of thing.
You've gotten that deflection down.
Yeah,
right?
that deflection thing. But like,
deflection.
yeah, I mean, like, it's just now. It's just how much time do I want to put into this?
Wow.
Let's move on to Godzilla, though.
Okay.
What we are witnessing here is the return of Titans.
How many of these things are there?
17 and counting.
That's messed up.
Mothra, Rodan, Ghidorah.
Oh my. They're moving like a pack. They're hunting. They all respond directly to an alpha. We stop this Ghidorah. We stop them all.
Is there another creature that might stand a chance against him?
My God.
So Tuesday, went out to the Alamo, took the kids, got tickets to see Godzilla. Met a friend there. She brought her kid. I met Julie, the climber who you met.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, she says hi. So Julie does not have a TV at her house. Yes.
She's one of those.
She's one of those.
Copy that.
The last movie she saw was with me about 8 months ago. Free Solo. It was a climbing thing.
Really?
She's a because she's a climber. I climb
So
with.
she went and saw Godzilla with you?
She saw Godzilla. She wanted to see The Stranger because I was mentioning it just in passing. I was like, oh, I'm going to go see Godzilla with Rob. This is back before you got your job thing that happened. And she's like, oh, I think I want to go. And her kid was out of school as well. And I was like, really? I was like, sure, come see it. And then I kind of probed her for more details. I was like, so this is the first movie you've seen since Free Solo about 8 months ago? She's like, yeah. So she's a person who does not see movies that much. The entire time, she laughed. She just laughed the whole time. Like, she knows who Godzilla is.
Right.
You know what I mean? She had just this weird urge to see this big, dumb, loud movie.
Uh-huh.
And,
So this version of Godzilla was laughable. I mean, to be honest, you can be honest.
They're kind of all laughable, right? Aren't they supposed to be?
Well, I think yes and no, because I think because of what we started to talk about a little bit at the top of the podcast is the political, like what they came out of, and their political nature, and sort of like what they were metaphors for, give them a little bit more credence than just, oh, this is a guy in a suit destroying Model City,
right?
While cameras are rolling. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, because the original Godzilla was like in the 50s,
right? Like almost a couple years after America had dropped 2 atomic weapons
less than a decade.
on that country.
Yeah,
so
less than a decade.
So and subsequently all the ones after that, because I remember watching these as a kid, like in the 80s, and not really understanding so much of like the political portions of it. I just always really liked like the destroying of the models and the guy in the rubber suit. But as I've gotten older and I've gone back and I've watched a lot of them, almost all of them, especially the ones made by Japanese people and for Japanese people, have a very political, almost anti-U.S. bent to them. The U.S. and I saw Godzilla this week too, but not the new one. I went back and saw the most recent one, the 2016 version called Shin Godzilla, the one that was made in Japan.
I wanted to watch that.
And the one right before that, I guess in 2014.
That's the American one.
That's the American one with Bryan Cranston and Ken Watanabe and that cat who played Quicksilver.
Cranston? I don't remember that.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston is the father in it who dies, and sort of is in the inciting incidents of it. Well, his wife dies, and then subsequently he dies, which then his son has to blah 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 blah.
Is Kyle Chandler in that one?
I don't know who Kyle Chandler is, but if he's the guy who played Quicksilver in Marvel Avengers: Age of Ultron, then yes.
No, he plays the Mark Russell character. Vera Farmiga, who's in this 2019, basically he plays what's his face is this has 11 in it from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Was there Millie Bobby Brown?
Yeah,
right?
Millie Bobby Brown.
So he plays her dad.
Oh,
is that family in this one? I don't remember.
Is what family in this one?
The Russell family in 2014 Godzilla.
I don't know if it's a continuation of that sort of like storyline.
Because Ken Watanabe's back.
Is he?
Yeah, he's back.
It may be. It may be a continuation of it.
Yeah. Before I go forward,
but
we're going to spoil this. We're going to spoil Dark Phoenix.
Oh, please!
If you don't want to listen to this stuff, if you feel
you're not going to spoil it for me because I already told you it was going to be terrible.
It's not terrible.
It's pretty goddamn bad, though, right? Be honest.
It's not terrible. It has issues, but I feel like if you want to go see like a big Godzilla movie of this thing where a whole bunch of stuff happens and there's some monsters and gets destroyed, it's actually pretty good.
So you're saying Dark Phoenix up against Godzilla is okay?
I might have enjoyed Godzilla more than Dark Phoenix.
I'm
but
not
that's
surprised.
Saying much.
I'm not surprised.
If you're
None of those X-Men movies that starred these people were that good. Mm-hmm. They were all okay, and and there was a lot of issues because of, for me, it was a lot of how they did some of the special effects.
Our planet will perish, and so will we. Unless we set Godzilla free.
Oh, yeah, sure. Let's bring him in for a beer. No, this time we join the fight.
Oh, wait, pause this for a second. I totally forgot. I got you a present.
What?
And by present, I mean I bought something for myself.
That doesn't fit. And you're hoping
it fits. It's just terrible.
Really?
What I got for you. It came in the mail. I meant to do it earlier in the podcast, and I forgot.
Well, I'm excited now. Hit me up. What is it? Oh.
Just wait till you see what it is. I bought that, and I bought the shirt that I'm wearing.
Wow. An unboxing. We got an unboxing here, guys, on the podcast. What kind of fabric is that? Man, what is that? Is that silk? Is that velvet? Oh, that's awful.
It's awful.
That's awful. I don't know if I can rock this, man. I might look like a poured-in sardine.
I hope you never rock that.
Honestly, I kind of dig it. I like what
the design is amazing.
Is dope, but the fabric and
so it is the Sakura T-shirt that I bought online for $10.
Oh, the one we talked.
And the design is amazing.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's like this montage of all the best things you want.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to modify this. Yeah, I'm going to rock the shit out of this.
Okay, good.
I'm going to rock the shit out of this.
But something about the polyester blend.
Yeah,
you might have to cut the sleeves
I'm definitely
off.
I'm going to do away with the sleeves. I got a seam ripper just for that.
It's the type of material that makes your body instantly sweat.
Yeah, this This is a not summer thing. This is you'll see this in the fall.
Yes,
definitely, probably in the winter.
That will probably keep you warm.
You'll see the sleeve. You'll probably see the sleeve as a head wrap at some point.
That would keep all of your body fluids and heats contained.
But yeah, if you were to smoke around this,
highly
you're going
flammable.
Up. You're going up.
Like, don't even put it close to a bulb because you're going to burst in flames.
You're going up.
Don't bring that even to Florida. Because you will immediately, once the sun hits that, it'll immediately attach to your skin forever.
Like the third case of spontaneous human combustion ever recorded and shit. Oh my god.
So what I think happened, in short, is that there's all these companies on eBay that have like all these images online that you're like, oh yeah, I want Cowboy Bebop t-shirt, I want an Akira t-shirt, I want a Dark Crystal t-shirt, and they just find an image online they put it on their website, and they're like, sure, we'll make a t-shirt out of this. And you're like, great, $10.
You got it from China,
and they
right?
print it on this terrible material, whatever this is.
I understand. But I don't want to stray too much from what we were talking about, because we are already running at 2 hours.
I know. Let's go back.
I'm trying to keep us on schedule.
Anyways, Godzilla's pretty good. It's not if you're not.
See,
it's not going to win you over if you're like, I don't know why I'm seeing a Godzilla movie.
Having gone back and watched the most recent one, the American versions don't work for me.
Okay. Because
they're Americanized. Like the core, a core of what Godzilla is, it's a metaphor for the poor use of nuclear weapons to do stuff to humanity.
Yes.
And I think when America is the motherfucker who did that, it loses a lot of its weight.
Good point.
When the monster saves a bunch of Americans.
Especially when it's pretty much come out that we, and this my father sort of refers to this as revisionist history, but it's really come out in the last couple 10, 15 years is that we really didn't have to drop the bomb on Japan at all.
We didn't.
They were ready to
They were
surrender.
already ready to go. They did it as
they were putting feelers out. They're like, hey guys, we kind of want to do this. What's the right way? And instead we dropped the bomb on them to show basically the Russians that
we're not playing. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
And then the Russians were like, oh, they got a bomb. We better build one ourselves.
Exactly.
And that started the Cold War.
What America did was start an arms race.
Yeah.
They were like, look, we have this technology and we're not afraid to use it, so don't fuck with us.
Yeah.
That's what that was. That's the kind of statement.
Yeah.
It was basically like a teenager.
Harry Truman at the time basically was almost forced to do it. Like, it's not that he was smart enough to even know that he didn't want to do it, but the military basically used him to do it.
It was fucked up.
Remember back when the military had power to like control a president?
Don't even get me started.
Not anymore.
That should have been at the top of the segment. We ain't trying to get into that shit now. That'll send us on. We will be on Venus by the time we turn around.
This is our 5-hour episode.
Yeah, we're not trying to go there. It's fucking already late. No, but this is what I found the problem with the American versions of Godzilla movies and why like they're just okay.
Should America be profiting off of Godzilla at all?
I mean,
Toho is the company that made it, and basically even companies like Subway, they keep putting out like big lizards breathing fire over at larger cities, and they get sued by this company Toho who has the rights to Godzilla.
Interesting,
but
I watched the Shin Godzilla, the most recent one before.
That's the one I wanted to see.
It's fucking awesome
because it's made in Japan.
It's made in Japan. It's a Japanese Godzilla movie akin to the ones that came out in the 50s and the 80s and subsequently 2000s. Every time the Japanese make a Godzilla movie, it definitely it tends to be kind of hard to follow because it's politically bent and there's a lot of branches of like prime minister and this minister and this minister. It's usually a story about how the humans are gonna stop Godzilla from rampaging us to death.
Yeah.
Whereas the American versions are always like, some monster has woken up and Godzilla's going to show up and be our protectors.
Right.
Well, thank you, Godzilla, for protecting the American way using military might. And there's always like a military man involved.
100% what this movie is. How do we make Godzilla our buddy?
Like,
and he's going to help us out.
And the other thing that's different from the Japanese version than the American versions is that you can see it. You see Godzilla rampaging in broad daylight with the sun up, going through buildings and shit. Like in the 2014 version with Cranston, it was so fucking dark the whole time.
Same with this one. Yeah.
Like at one point, like the monsters, it was a clear fucking day. The monsters start fighting, then all of a sudden it's pitch fucking black around them. Like, I was like,
yeah.
And there's a great scene in the movie where they have to do this halo drop because of the EMP that one of the monsters puts out. So all these motherfuckers jump out of an airplane in pitch fucking blackness with the sun out, but the clouds are like, and then they're falling with these red flares through blackness into more fucking blackness. I was just like, this movie would be great if I could see it.
That part's pretty cool.
It's great, but like, imagine on a full fucking bright day where you could see all that shit.
Yeah,
and almost all of the Japanese versions do that.
Well, the other thing I realized about this as I was watching it in the theater, eating chicken wings because it was at the Alamo. I was having some chicken wings. It was good.
You imagine that shit, people. Lounging and eating chicken wings in the theater. Black people have been doing that since forever. It's called bringing it with you. It's calling it bringing it with you.
Who said I didn't bring it with me? I totally shoved those in my pockets.
You
I didn't even have a bag. I just
you lied, sir.
Just raw chicken wings.
Why
in my
must
pocket.
you turn this studio into a house of lies?
A house of lies. No, so I'm watching it and I'm thinking there's so much destruction. So much. The final climactic battle takes place in Fenway Park in Boston. Like, if you hate Boston, this is the movie for you because they blow up Boston. It's the three-headed dragon, Ghidorah, basically, versus Godzilla. It's a cool fight. They're big. They're destroying everything.
And it's all CGI, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all CGI.
And
the whole movie's CGI.
That's the other difference between the Shin version.
Yeah.
About 2/3 of the movie is practical Godzilla work where somebody is stomping through, and they do use special effects, but they use it so adeptly that it makes it seem like at the points when they're not using CGI, you can forgive the shittiness of it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
It's honestly, for me, one of the best Godzilla movies I've seen in recent years.
This CGI looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, so did the one from 2014 with Cranston. The CGI is fine. Like, I like the modeling rendering of Godzilla, but there's a point where basically in the 2016 version, Shin Godzilla, you see Godzilla evolve.
Yeah.
From basically he comes out on land and you don't know what. I was like, what the fuck is this? And you almost think it's another monster that Godzilla has to come out and like fight. That's how I initially thought. I was like, oh, this is going to be one of those where he has to put down a monster. Cut to, you watch him evolve from his initial like coming on land to full form Godzilla, and then human beings have to devise a way to put him down. And you actually walked in on the tail end of me watching it tonight.
It looked good,
and you were like, "What the fuck is that?"
It looked better. It looked better than what I was watching.
So much of that movie was practical. They did it all practically.
I will say the kids dug it. It was a big lizard movie. They liked it. It was fun. It was watched. Lots of stuff got destroyed, but I realized is like, comparing it to a movie like Independence Day with Will Smith, right? Where we see the cities get blown up sort of within the first half of the movie. There's a feeling of weight to that. And this is weird saying that there's a feeling of weight to Independence Day that's just not there with these Godzilla movies. Things get destroyed. Lots of stuff happens. And none of it really matters. That's the cons.
Interesting,
because it just doesn't feel like any of the destruction matters to any of the cities.
See, I think this may play into the fact that, like I say, America was kind of like Godzilla got created because America bombed the shit out of this portion of the world, and the radiation created this monster that then the Japanese people who had already been downtrodden and fucked up had to then find a way to fight and beat back. And when it's I feel like when it's an American story telling this Godzilla thing, it's too much about the pomp and circumstance and like how awesome.
More about
it's more about us.
It's like the Roland Emmerich style of like, let's destroy a whole bunch of stuff, but they're not even doing it as well as like Independence Day did, or any of like the 2012 or Day After Tomorrow, any of the massive. There's none of that weight. So there's no consequence to anything, and it really becomes this weird thing where like all you kind of want to see is Godzilla fighting the other monsters, which makes sense. That is what you kind of want from a Godzilla movie. But then it makes you question, do I even want to see a Godzilla movie in the middle of watching a Godzilla movie?
Wow.
It's a strange thing.
What would your friend...
There's some pros.
Okay.
I don't want to spend too much time on it because
we'll
I
talk
still
about
got
the pros.
Dark
Comments.
Phoenix. What's Her Face from Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things is really good in it. There's a lot of creatures in it that are really interesting. So if you're just in it for a creature design standpoint, that's cool. Godzilla does look cool. He's like 400 feet tall. It looks awesome. There's some end credits that are interesting.
Okay.
There's like in credits, they show up a whole bunch of news segments that sort of set up a monster universe. They're gonna tie. What they're gonna do is they're gonna tie
King Kong,
Skull Island into Godzilla. The next movie
which
you're going to get
talking about
is going to be King Kong versus Godzilla.
Okay,
it'll be just as good as this one, and we'll probably still go see it.
Okay,
There's
so
worse things.
all right, so just trying to button it right quick.
Yeah.
Burp or fart?
I'll still give it a burp.
Word. So go see it in the theater.
No. It depends what the burp means to you. If you were a Godzilla fan,
I do like those movies, but I don't. Like I said, I don't think the American versions work.
But you don't like the American versions.
I don't think American versions work.
If you're a Godzilla fan, you like all things Godzilla and just like monster movies, go see it.
Okay.
Because there's lots of monsters in it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna miss this one.
It's way better than Matthew Broderick.
I do recommend seeing the 2016 version of Shin Godzilla.
See Shin Godzilla.
It's incredible.
The 2014 Godzilla is available, I think, on the TNT app online if you want to watch that.
And Cranston, not for nothing, Cranston does he's in it for that long, but he does a really powerful job.
I do remember that. It's not terrible. It's not
a bad movie. It's just like you said, I think you hit the nail on the head exactly with like the stakes, and it just didn't hold anything for me.
If your kids are off of school because of a Muslim holiday and you are not Muslim, and there's a movie to see and it's Godzilla, maybe consider seeing it, or take them to the park and do something else.
Yeah, probably take them to the park.
This is Godzilla's world. We just live in it.
Damn right.
So that brings me to my second movie.
Right.
So today, I woke up, I was exhausted because yesterday they
and what made you want to see it without me? Like you could have waited till we could both go see it, but you were like, "No, I'm going to see it at 10 a.m."
I kind of suspected it was going to be bad. I knew it was,
and I already been talking shit about it for a while.
But basically, yesterday they had the day off as well, so they had Tuesday and Thursday off from school, and so we had a gauntlet of
Aren't
a day
they about
yesterday.
to almost be done with school?
I know. That's what happens towards the last
month
month of school for kids. They're just like, "Yeah, just take this day off." Take another. I didn't even know what holiday it was. I know the Tuesday one was a Muslim. It was Eid Hall something Muslim holiday.
So yesterday was just
all
like,
respect to Muslims.
I just don't know what that was. Just didn't tell you, Daddy, we just got school off today. And you were like, yeah, baby, okay, I guess you do.
Calendar, for sure. So they had it off. So we went climbing. We went. I mean, it was just like it was like Penelope had Daisy had a play date with her sort of pseudo boyfriend Leo.
Get out of here!
It is her boyfriend.
Get out of here!
She's got a boyfriend. His name's Leo. They run around. They play for hours. I mean, it was a 6-hour play date.
Jeez,
I was exhausted, and I worked that night. Anyways, so I woke up today, and I had some work stress. So I'll go into later with you personally because I don't want to talk about it on the podcast. But it was just like work stressing me out.
Talk about it in the whispers later.
Yes. Anyways. I'm a waiter. How stressful could it be? Well, that's the main thing. It's stressful.
But no.
Anyway, so I woke up and I was really tired. I knew that there was I took the kids to school. I got home. I pooped. It was like 9:30, and I was like looking at my day, and I was like, "What am I going to do today? I know I want to work on a scene. I'm going to write this thing, but I'm not going to start that until lunch, and then I'll pick up the kids at 2:40. That's 2 hours and 45 minutes." So what can I do before lunch? I was like, I'll play Shakira and I'll fight the guardian ape. But I was like, I don't want to do that. And I was just like, I wonder what movies are out right now. And I clicked on the little Fandango app, and I have Movie Pass, and I checked it out, and there was a 10 a.m. showing of Dark Phoenix.
Oh, guess I'm going to see Dark Phoenix then.
I was like, it was like 9:38. And I was like, I'll walk over there and I'll see it, and I'll use my Movie Pass. It was free. It's not going to be good, and I'll check it out, and I'll talk about it on the podcast.
You knew going in it wasn't going to be good.
Yeah, I knew it was.
You knew going in.
I thought maybe there might be hope that it could be good, but there was no way. It was not that good.
Ladies and gentlemen of NASA, this is Charles Xavier. Help is on the way.
We're doing space missions now. Cool.
We get the astronauts, we bring them home. Go.
The heat signature's rising fast.
We gotta get out of here.
Where's Jean?
Where is she? Jean!
She should be dead.
Did you hear what the kids are calling you? Phoenix.
Hello, Jean. Who are you? The better question is, who are you?
Something's happening to me. When I lose control, bad things happen. But it feels good.
It started with First Class. That was the first.
That's the best one.
That's how that cast assembled.
Yeah.
You think that's the best one?
Yes.
You might be right, but that's when I knew
of
that
those sequels to the X-Men original.
You might be right, but that's I never liked those. First Class was bad. The last X-Men movie that I liked was Days of Future Past.
Okay, so
it had problems. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, so you like that more than because that one came after.
Did that come after First Class?
Yeah.
I liked that better than anything that cast that they assembled for First Class and that storyline that they had been.
Yeah.
It's bad.
That was the Star Trek Generations of the X-Men universe. Think about it.
Yeah.
Because we got Kirk and we got Picard. This one had Wolverine and it had all the old, all the new X-Men.
It was great. It was, and
it is good,
and it held more to the actual comic book storyline from that same title, Days of Future Past, than what First Class was, because most of those motherfuckers weren't in the X-Men First Class.
So you didn't like the Apocalypse one?
It was
X-Men Apocalypse.
It was so bad. It was so bad. It was so bad. Like, it was bad. It was bad from start to fucking finish. They had Apocalypse being like this OP. Apocalypse was the first mutant, the first documented mutant on in like the canon of Marvel. He was the first. He did live in the Egyptian era, but then they took all these grace caveats, like he was like super OP and he could take people's powers and like all that extra shit. He did have the ability to enhance other mutants' abilities. But like not to the way that they had him sort of like rolling through motherfuckers. It was weird, man. It was weird and like a lot of it had to do with the practical effects. Like there's a scene where like Psylocke, played by I love her, Olivia Munn. I want her to be my like second divorced wife. She's carving down this building with her psi powers, and she does like a superhero landing. But it just looks so
Psylocke,
It just looks so like
it was bad.
It just looked bad, and like a lot of the things that they would do for like the special effects, they would have the actor do like a thing like this, and then they would show like the practical effect like exploding, but not actually doing the in between. It was like more of a camera trick. Well, it felt like they were always trying to do it on the cheap.
If you like that,
I did not.
You'll love this.
I did not, and I knew that's the kind of shit that they were going to pull, because they pulled it in every single one of these movies. First Class, Age of Apocalypse, and I knew they were going to do it for this based on a lot of what I saw in the trailer. I was like, they're going to give you that like camera trick fakery special effects shit where they don't actually do the special effect. They just do the practical at the end, and they make the actor do like the initial inciting incident, and they use the camera to make it like this thing is going on.
And what's happened now is all the people that they pulled on during X-Men First Class are now super famous, right?
Really?
So Jennifer Lawrence is super famous.
Right. Well, she's been super
Sophia
famous.
Turner, or is it Sophie or Sophia? Sophie Turner, right? Yeah. Game of Thrones, super famous. James McAvoy, bigger than...
super famous.
Yeah,
like all these people have been
strangely not the most famous. I mean, he's Charles Xavier, but like not the most famous out of everyone in the general fame.
His canon is deeper though.
What's his face? Magneto.
Ewan. Not Ewan. Fassbender. Not
Fassbender. Yeah,
is
Michael
Fassbender?
Fassbender. Yeah, Michael Fassbender. Very, very famous. Anyway, so there's a feeling to the movie. There's two things that happen with the movie. There's a feeling that, one, we've already done this before in X-Men Last Stand.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we told the Dark Phoenix storyline.
Mm-hmm. Not well.
Not well.
But
okay. This, I would say, this is equally as competent or equally as incompetent. It's not a terrible movie. And Godzilla wasn't either. It's not terrible, but you can tell that like everybody was so much more famous now that they had to work around a lot of weird schedules. But what I read about behind the scenes...
So it seems disjointed?
Yes, because what I read about behind the scenes is that they had a script and they filmed it. And then Captain Marvel came out. And they realized, oh shit.
This doesn't line up with what we're going to do in the future?
No, this is the end of Captain Marvel. There's basically, because Jessica Chastain is in it. And she plays an alien character. And so Jean Grey goes into outer space with the X-Men to deal with this issue. And they come across this alien thing that absorbs...
The Phoenix Force.
Yeah, that Jean absorbs.
Right.
The Phoenix Force, basically.
Yeah.
Jessica Chastain is an alien character in space following that force. Follows it back down to Earth, right? That's the first, basically,
and she's
active.
basically... Is she the white-haired girl that's
yes,
in...
exactly,
okay,
yeah. Jessica Chastain, she's in, like, Zero Dark 30, you know her.
Didn't see it.
Right, so she follows it down. She's basically was supposed to be a Skrull character. That's who they thought it was going to be, a Skrull character.
Why couldn't it still have been that?
Because the entire third act of the movie involved them tracking this sort of like Phoenix thing through
Cerebro.
Through Sophia Turner's character.
Okay.
Through Jean Grey.
Right.
Finding her, and then Jean Grey was going to destroy these aliens in outer space. It was going to mimic Captain Marvel. So think Captain Marvel when she gets up there and she fights Ronan and blows up his ship, right?
And he runs
away. That was the same exact thing that Sophia Turner, Jean Grey's character, was going to do. Basically, the end of this movie. It was going to be the same exact ending versus the Skrulls. So they never really tell you that it's the Skrulls, and they sort of like downplay the shape shifting. You can see that they can kind of like absorb.
Well, it could have worked. It definitely could have worked because the Skrulls.
Yes. Okay. So basically, they had that whole thing shot. Everything was that movie, and then Captain Marvel comes out. And suddenly so
they're scrambling to
reshoot all. Some studio execs are like, let's reshoot it. They can't be the same ending. You know what I mean? It can't be the same. It can't be
because it's not the same. It's a different villain, and based on what Captain Marvel tells, the Skrulls are a warring race. They're scroungers. This could be a whole different thing.
But they flipped out about it, right? So they go in and they change the entire third act of the thing. They take it out of outer space, put it on a train, which is what the rumors were. And then,
that scene where, like Magneto is walking on a train or whatever. Okay,
yeah, for sure. Like I say, not terrible. It's probably the weakest of
the three of them.
Yes.
Then it's terrible.
Yeah.
If it's the weakest of those three movies, then it's fucking terrible.
You might like it more than Apocalypse. I kind of liked Apocalypse. It was weird, but I kind of not weird, but it was weak. But I liked elements of it in the same way I like elements of this. But the general sense I got of this movie was that Sophia Turner, Michael Fassbender, James McAvoy, what's his face?
They all got too busy for reshoots.
Who's Beast?
Who was in the running for Batman?
Nicholas Hoult.
Yeah.
So they're all more famous now. This felt like something that they came in, they took the paycheck, they gave about 80%, not 75%, especially Jennifer Lawrence. You can just see the scenes that were reshot in this, that they're like, I'm here, I'm on set for 2 days, I'm going to do this. This is what you get. If you don't like this is all you're going to get. Sorry. You can just feel it. The energy is not there. The love is not there.
See, I knew it from the trailer. I knew it from I told you this, man.
It's basically like Disney is buying Fox. This is going away.
I already had issues with them retelling a story that we'd already seen and known before.
Yes.
I already had issues with that, and based on the fact that like a lot of these.
Did you like Last Stand? X-Men Last Stand. The Brett Ratner
parts of it. There were parts of it that I actually did enjoy. But like
I'm on the fence if this is better or the same or worse.
Okay. I guess this movie. I guess this is me buttoning it here.
Yes.
Burp or fart?
A burp if you're watching at home off of BitTorrent and you got a joint.
So not
fart if you paid $15 for it, which I didn't. I got their movie pass. Thank you, Mary.
Don't see this in the theater.
Don't see this in theater.
Then that's all.
Unless you're an X-Men fan and you have to just do this.
I am an X-Men fan, and I no, I don't.
But
have
no,
to do
this is not the move for you.
I'm an X-Men fan, and that's why I had so many problems with starting with this franchise, this X-Men starting with First Class, and it continued. And I knew, having seen the trailer, that this was not going to be a movie that I was going to see in the theater. It was always going to be like a bootleg for me.
Are you threatening me?
That's right.
That would be a bad idea.
Let's go to comments.
Let's do it. Just a little loving early in the morning. Comments!
Sean Calloway, our resident Game of Thrones expert, sends us...
I wonder how he's doing after the ending.
Let's find out. Yo, dudes. Thanks for reading my email last week. Again, I apologize for the length. Never apologize for the length, man.
Apologize. You don't never apologize for the length.
Liked this last show too, and I really liked the overview on shows like Supernatural and Satisfying Trilogies. I have to admit to being a reluctant but satisfied Supernatural fan.
Same.
I never watched this series until season 10. For years, my ma used to watch Charmed and Supernatural and syndication on TNT in the mornings. During family visits or holidays, I would wake up and watch snippets of these shows as I drank my coffee and ate breakfast. And during one winter, I caught a bad case of the flu that put me down for a full 10 days.
That's perfect Supernatural watching.
I binged every season and continued with subsequent newly and aired seasons. I am a huge fanboy for Supernat.
Wow.
Do you refer to it as Supernat?
I do not.
You guys ever had a seemingly cheesy, dopey entertainment property that you thought would suck, but you got so invested it became your guilty pleasure?
I'm sure. I can't think of any right off the top of my head, but I am definitely
the
sure.
fact that I saw X-Men for
right
at 10 a.m.
Right,
I mean, come on.
I'm trying to think of like a really bad one that I was like, this was, not for nothing. I thought Kung Fu Hustle was gonna be a trash movie.
Oh, come back. So no.
I initially I was like, this is gonna be a complete shit
Skin
show.
Wars. I'll talk about Skin Wars. It's a reality show.
I forgot to bring that up. Yeah,
I
but
mean, it's
you're
on
welcome.
Netflix. Basically, artists come out and paint full body nude portraits.
Well, it's basically like what Face Off was, but for nudes,
nude bodies. It's canceled. There's only 3 seasons.
Oh, no kidding.
It's done, man.
But that's 2016.
Perfect. It's over.
Well, Rebecca Ramon. I guess she's just Rebecca Ramon now. She's a host of that.
Yeah.
You didn't even, she is
RuPaul
gorgeous.
Charles.
And yeah, RuPaul's one of the judges.
Yeah. Is he qualified? I don't know.
I think so.
I
yeah,
guess.
definitely
Qualified to be like, yeah, sure.
The dude has made a career out of morphing and changing with paint and makeup.
Okay,
I think he's more than qualified.
Are you reading like the official press release for this show or what?
I'm sitting here with a beer in my hand and
that's a press release in the other end. I see it.
All right, yeah, it's definitely I got it from Entertainment Weekly. They're paying me on the low.
I mean, you have plenty of anime guilty pleasures.
Well, I don't consider my anime guilty pleasures at all. I consider my anime legit. Parts of the classroom.
Do you have anything that you watch that you're like, this is a guilty pleasure? And I'm clearly,
you know what? No, I found it. Yes, I do. I have one, and I had to stop watching it because it got to the point where I was like, I can't. This is just too bad. And it was that show Once. I think the full title maybe like Once Upon a Time. It was an ABC Studios.
Oh right, yeah. You told me about this one.
Yeah, that was my guilty pleasure for a bit.
Yeah.
Because it was sort of a very kind of updated rehashing of a lot of Disney properties, like Tinkerbell, like all these Disney, animation people became real people, and they live in a town, and they construed a story that kind of made sense for a while, and they would bring in new, like Elsa became one of the characters on the show, having been like unlocked from Rumpelstiltskin's there was a time that it really was kind of compelling, and there was a lot of real fine acting being done on it, especially by the actress playing the evil queen,
Queen Bavmorda.
No, not Queen Bavmorda. I think she was actually like the queen from Snow White. Snow White's Snow White queen. That queen.
Snow White queen with the apple.
With the apple. So that she was the main big bad for the initial.
But don't you think like Legends of Tomorrow? That's like a guilty pleasure. Because the best I can come up with is like The Flash.
No, it's not even so much a guilty pleasure because I like comic books and I like a lot of those characters that show. And like I said, like a few weeks ago, like when you think about it as like a live action cartoon, it's actually kind of perfect.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
It just the way they had started it, it was kind of they started it in a way that they were taking it 100% seriously. They were like, we're going to tell comic book stories based on, these characters and ... And then somewhere along the line, they were like, you know what? Fuck comic book stories. We're just going to, be live action cartoon.
Because I have plenty of guilty pleasures, but I don't tend to finish them these days. But like the other day, I put on like Terminator Genesis and watched like the first 20 minutes. It was like, yeah, this blows. I'm gonna fall asleep. Fell asleep. I would say this definitely Dark Phoenix is like a guilty pleasure, just of like. There's good elements. Oh, the thing that happened in Dark Phoenix that I wanted to bring up, I forgot about this. There's a moment where Jessica Chastain...
Is this a spoiler?
Yes. Yeah, so this is a spoiler for Dark Phoenix. Sorry. It's not worth it, but whatever. If you want to see it, then stop listening.
We already said don't see it in the theater.
Whatever, don't see it. It's
we
fine.
Already said it.
Watch it at home when it comes on HBO. But there's a moment, and this is all through the rewrites. Jessica Chastain's character, who's supposed to be a Skrull, who's supposed to have this attack on the UN that got cut. And they rewrote it. And basically there's a moment where Sophia Turner, Jean Grey's character, like, doesn't kill somebody, and Jessica Chastain's character is like, she's like, you are weak because of your emotions. And then it's actually the best and worst part of the movie. Jean Grey picks her up, flies her to outer space all at once, turns into a phoenix, destroys her, and says, no, I'm strong because of my emotions.
And that's the end of the film.
And that's pretty much the end of the movie. I mean, credits, there's like a little after scene, blah, 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 blah. But for the most part, that's the end of the movie. And it's like so on the nose.
And it's almost identical to Captain... Like you said, it's almost identical to Captain
Marvel, right. That this idea that like women are weak because of their emotions. No, we're not. We're strong.
Like,
and so in a way that like...
I feel like they both say that.
They both say that. It's the same exact idea, right? I think what happened was Captain Marvel came out and they said, oh, look at all these similarities. That's way better than what we're doing. Let's try to do a little more of that, but make it seem less like it's exactly that, but it is.
I don't want to talk too much more about it, but I want to bring up the question to maybe you think about. Does this mean, based on just those two examples, does this mean we've reached a height or a point where there's an oversaturation with comic book movies now, with movies that are based on...
I think so. That's my thought when I was coming on in the Uber on the way over. I was like, man, are there too many superhero movies? I think if they are done in the way that they're just trying to make money... And
I think this is what I've been saying. I feel like because they know the formula now, that it's not
oversaturation.
Not about...
And the other thought I had was, though, because I was like, do I want to bring up this fact about this very, like, pro-women, like, I'm strong because of my emotions, they don't make me weak thing? Is that something I should bring up? Because part of what my thought was, if my kids saw this, who are not oversaturated with a lot of this stuff, subconsciously, they would probably take that message away. And remember that message.
I guess that's...
And so, well, I find that as a straight white male a little bit trite and on the nose, and I think it is. I think artistically it is. I think for a younger audience, or even a teenage audience, they would take away from that and be like, they might find it corny, but subconsciously, I think on a level, it's going to change them growing up as adults. So whatever. Anyways,
I agree.
So I get another comment from my brother. This is the last comment. We're going to be done here.
All right. Yeah, bring it on. Hey, yo, shout out to that boy for the password to Amazon. Thank you for that.
So this is a bit lengthy. I'll go through it as fast as I can. So this is about Willow. He says, first thing, non-Willow thing.
Right,
I just rewatched.
This is you being Mad Mart again. Is this is that bullshit?
Well, is that bullshit? This is Mad Mart again. Even though it rhymes with Rob Karma Robinson.
It's fine.
But he says, non-Willow thing. I just rewatched The Dark Crystal for the first time in 30 plus years.
And?
Sidebar. I had talked to my dad. My brother and I saw this in the movie theater.
No shit.
He took us. Yeah, then later we watched it on HBO. Sidebar to that sidebar. My cousin Dave Correa went to the prop set place when they were doing it about a year ago.
No shit.
For the new one coming out, and saw the puppets. And they're all puppets.
No
He
shit.
sent me a picture. It's like him like a puppet. It's like great. He's like the coolest guy I know.
That's awesome.
He was there.
Hey, was Dave going to be in Florida this summer?
Dave? I don't think so. He came He came a year, 2 years ago. Dave, we want to come out and see you in California and just blow up your spot.
Please, bro. Let's hang. Let's sesh, bro.
DaveKoreaArt.com, I think.
Whatever. Plug him.
Google Dave Korea. He's awesome. His art's amazing.
That's what's up.
He says, it's weird. My brother says, it's weird because I remember absolutely nothing of the plot. I think I was just too young to understand the plot, but vividly I remember certain scenes, especially the scene where the Skeksis emperor dies and his face breaks slowly and begins to crumble to dust. I also remember that we had the Dark Crystal read-along book with a 15-minute cassette tape that can still picture, and I can still picture images from that book. Out. Remember those things?
I do remember those cassette books, but I don't even remember that they had a Dark cassette. I didn't remember they had a Dark Crystal one.
Yeah, the Dark Crystal. We had a whole bunch of Star Wars spin-off ones. Yeah, it was awesome.
Dude, you don't still have those.
I don't think so.
Mom and Dad?
Maybe they do. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Even though we lost the cassette, the book stayed around in our room for years, slowly losing pages until it too eventually disintegrated.
Well, there's your answer.
So he goes on and says, a couple things about Willow. Larry is totally underselling the impact that Willow had on him. Especially that scene where Willow first sees Madmartigan's fight and says, "You are great," and Madmartigan gives a cheesy grin, flips the sword around, and falls down. If you go back and listen to your podcast, Rob describes the scene but leaves out the fact that Madmartigan falls down, and Larry was quick to add it in. This is because that was Larry's go-to move for years, and he did it all the time. Anytime he did watched him do something cool and impressed people watching, they would follow it up with giving you a shit-eating grin and then pretend to fall down. For years he did this.
You know what? I think I kind of remember this. I think I kind of remember you doing some of that shit.
Even now, when he's trying to entertain his daughters or my kids, anytime he does something cool and the kids are like, wow, he will follow it up with this shit-eating grin and pretend to fall down. I bet Laurel has never thought about it, but if you ask her about it,
I wonder when you were courting her,
scene,
if that's a thing you tried to pull on her. Like, when you were dating Laurel, did you ever pull that move where you do something cool and then pretend to fall down on her?
No, but when I went to ask her to marry me, I went down to go to a knee and I fell over and then smiled. No, I'm kidding. I did that.
No, I'm telling everybody that's what happened.
My main question to Bo is, did I actually do that? Or are you projecting that on me?
Man,
because I remind you of Madmartigan so much.
No, man, I feel like I've seen you do this before. I feel like there's an instance in college once or twice where I've seen you do that shit, dude. I think he's right.
Oh my God, is this in my subconscious? It's Willow in my subconscious.
It may be, man.
He says,
it's in mine.
He says, by the way, there's bullet points to this. This is the third bullet point.
He's a lawyer, bro.
Yeah, it is. He's a lawyer.
He's a lawyer.
He says, in the scene where Willow turns Finn Rizal into a goat, and then she turns to Willow and says, with a goat accent, "Willow, you idiot."
Yeah.
Lauren, his wife, not Laurel, my wife, which my parents constantly get mixed up.
Well, they should.
If you put a gun to my mom's head and said, "Who is
wife
Larry
is
married to?" She'd be, "Lauren. Who's Lauren?" Boom.
No.
It's for sure. No, Barb, no. Lauren, his wife, can do the exact voice. It's pretty impressive. Side note, once that we had kids and we found out that she has a special skill in replicating all animal noises. Second side note, Lauren also does a great impression of Snow White singing "Someday My Prince Will Come Home." Record it and send it to us because we don't believe.
Yeah, you can't just give receipts to your wife's artistic
either put her on
premise.
The podcast.
Yeah, either have her call in. We forgot to. Yeah, well, we'll do that in a daytime.
Put it in the podcast. You know what else you can do? You can record it on your phone. Just email me that little thing, and I'll put it on the podcast. I can edit it in. I got those skills.
Maybe scratch it. You know.
Fifth bullet note from my brother. So I was unaware that peck was a derogatory word towards little people, so I use it all the time when people, mainly my kids, are blocking my walking path. I guess I'm going to have to stop doing that. First off, peck is not derogatory. It's not a derogatory word. Only if you refer to a little person as a peck.
Well, I think that's what he's saying. I think he's like, I didn't know. I'm referring to my kids as that. They're little persons.
They don't count. They're your kids. You can call your kids whatever you want, including shitheads or whatever jerk faces.
Yo, please don't do it out in public because people will call CPS on your ass.
Yeah. You want to refer to your kids as Peck, I believe that's totally fine. I'm not a spokesman for little people. Maybe it's not, but I believe that's fine. If you see Peter Dinklage or Warwick Davis
Peck,
and you call them Pecks,
what up, my Peck?
What up, Peck? Out of the way, Peck. Probably not good.
Probably not. I don't know. I mean,
maybe people listening to this podcast can chime in and let us know. But I feel like
if I, and this maybe me projecting, but if I felt like if I was a little person and someone rolled up on me and was like, "Yo, what up, Peck?" I feel like I'd have to like headbutt them in the nuts.
No, you wouldn't, because you'd be like, "Yo, I like that movie. Good job." Match reference. Word up. Word up.
Deep cut, bro. Deep cut.
Bones.
Hit the little knuckles. Hit the little knuckles.
Nuck. He says, a couple years ago, I said that to one of my office secretaries, a woman in her early 20s. I don't know why he...
What?
Yes.
Did you have to speak to HR directly after?
I know. And she looked at me and was like, "What the fuck does that mean?" I explained it was a movie quote from Willow. Needless to say that she had no idea what Willow was and had no idea who Val Kilmer was.
What?
Well, first
Not
off,
surprising.
well then she loses major points there.
Well, I mean, I feel like that. Yes, most cats in their 20s who Val Kilmer is, they'll Google him.
Like, huh?
Remember that scene in the Twin Vipers or whatever, where he's talking about, "Hey, Rodman," at the table with his date, and she's like,
yeah.
"Oh, he played basketball."
Oh, basketball, yeah, as they should. He's an ambassador to North Korea. Major props.
Right.
And he was in that movie Double Impact with
our boy Split Kick, Jean-Claude.
Anyway, so he goes on and says, needless to say that she had no idea who Willow was or Val Kilmer, and after talking about it further, I soon realized that she was so sheltered about movies that she had never seen Star Wars or Lord of the Rings or Indiana Jones.
Oh, God.
Basically any movie released before 2010, and didn't even have a vague idea what they were about. Do you ever run into people like this? Like Julie's,
no,
like the girl I saw.
I don't.
The mother I saw Godzilla with is like this. Like,
really?
She's not seen a ton of movies.
Aww.
And to me, I'm just like, that's amazing.
And I just want to show her all the movies
Yes.
now. I want to show her all the movies.
Yes. Alexa Forte, a friend of mine, right around the time when, right before Penelope was born, she's a costume designer, and she'd never seen Star Wars. And she came over to my house when Laura was out of town, and we watched all 3 Star Wars movies back to back in one night.
Why, when Laura was out of town?
What do you mean?
Why did you have to wait till Laura was out of town?
This is a very plutonic watching of Star Wars. I needed 9 hours to watch Star Wars.
You're like, baby, I'm not going to get 9 hours with Laura.
Why she was at that? I don't know. I can't remember. That's one of those things you do before you have kids and realize this is not appropriate. You can't just watch. There's no way. You can't just
invite some strange woman over the house when your wife's out of town to watch 9 hours of movies.
Exactly. No way in hell I would watch 9 hours worth of Star Wars with a woman in one sitting at any point. Even if my wife was there, she'd be like, "What are you trying to do? What is this about? Why is she still here?
What is this doing? What are y'all two up to?"
I understand she's never seen Star Wars, but why is she still here?
Yo, is there anything else that Bo comments on?
He says, who is the best friend, the better friend, Migosh to Willow or Merry and Pippin to Frodo?
Oh, wow.
Come on, man. This is an easy one.
I think it's Merry and Pip to Frodo.
Yeah, of course.
Because Migosh basically...
Whoa, okay. Whoa. Let me think that. I was thinking Merry and Pip to each other, but Merry and Pippin to
He said Frodo.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'm going to have to say Merry and Pip to Frodo, because they could have easily gone back to... Well, they had the chance to be out, but after Boromir takes those arrows for him, they're we're all in.
Yes. Yeah, Merry and Pippin to Frodo for sure.
It has to be.
It took Boromir's death.
Yeah, to make them all in.
One does not just simply take 3 or 4 arrows to the chest.
Not lightly. Not like a champ.
One does not
die
not
3 or 4
dramatically saving some. No.
Yeah, they end up being linchpins. They end up fighting in that war and all honored.
Put that movie on right now. I want to watch it.
I don't. No, your wife will kill me. No, but Migosh was.
He was good.
It's not his fault, because
I stole the baby. That's what stops him. I also saw there was a moment where I can't remember why I was watching TV and the eagle came on TV. I think I was with Penelope. I think it was for that movie, and I was like, "I stole the baby" in my head, and I realized she did not get the reference.
Well, she wouldn't because it was in your head.
Sure, good point. Queen Bavmorda versus Saruman. Who wins in a fight?
Saruman.
Marry, fuck, kill. High Alduin, which is the what's his name? We knew it last week. Now I forgot it. High Alduin, Migash, or Vonkar.
High Alduin is the wizard.
Yeah, wizard.
The village wizard.
Billy Barty.
Billy Barty.
Migash or Vonkar. Who do you marry, kill, or fuck?
And which one was Vonkar? Was he the warrior?
Yeah, he's Vonkar! What? You should have put Burblecut in here. I'd definitely fuck Burblecut.
No. You marry Burblecut for the security, motherfucker.
That's
He's
true.
a landowner. What are you talking about?
You know, if you watch the first movie really quickly, like the very beginning, he's like, "Where'd you get these seeds?"
Yeah, he's a landowner. He's like, yo, he's basically trying to put Willow out on the street so he could take his fucking farm, bro.
Yeah.
He's a hustler.
And Will is like, for some reason, it's magic. He's like, bullshit. And Will's like, yeah, we've been collecting them. Never mind.
Yeah.
Not magic.
Yeah, because his wife comes around and is like, his wife shows up and is like, stop talking that bullshit. Tell me the truth.
Magic. What is it, magic? We
Tell them
collected
the truth so you can get the fuck out of our land.
Fucking calluses on my hand for collecting
you left
seeds.
You left the kids unattended? What kind of father is you? That was the first thing she says to him. You leave the kids by a body of water by themselves.
It's good points.
What the... It's
good mothering right there.
Right there. I mean, got to.
Don't. Those kids can't swim.
That's my point. I was like, yo.
Damn.
You a terrible father, bro.
So Billy Barty, Migash, or Vonkar?
Marry, fuck, kill, huh?
Yep.
Well, I think I'm marrying Vonkar for the security.
Oh, wait a minute. This totally stopped recording, by the way. I don't even know where.
Jesus.
Oh, wait, no, I think it's still on. Hold on. Oh, it's still going. It just paused for a second. No, just keep going. Sorry. Sometimes it does this thing where it'll pause the timer of GarageBand to like put a little word up like, by the way, something's happening, but it will keep recording. Keep going.
I guess I'm marrying Vonkar.
Yep.
Because he's a warrior. He can protect me. I'm killing Migash because he's too easy to just like slough off.
I guess you gotta kill one of them, right?
Well, and Migash seems to be the one who takes orders the best. I'd be like, yo, kill. I'll probably tell Migash to kill himself.
Yeah.
And he'll do it.
He's so loyal like that.
Yo, kill yourself, Migash.
It's like telling Samwise.
Anything for you, bro.
Samwise, kill yourself. Be like, fine. And just do it.
It's Mr. Gandalf told me.
He does it basically. He walks into the water and drowns.
Yeah, he does that.
And basically
somehow
promise. Frodo saves him.
I made a promise, Mr. Frodo. I made a promise. The motherfucker made a promise. And I respect the dude who's like, yo, I'm a man of my word. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm doing that shit. Yeah. I fucks with Frodo. I fucks with Samwise. Had to.
That's what's so weird about Stranger Things, too, is what's his face's character in that.
Yeah, right? He sacrificed himself. I don't even want to get on that tangent because you know how I feel about them Stranger Things.
He was so nice in that.
You know how I feel about them shits.
He was so nice in that season that you were like, this guy, something's up with him. We just turned out to be a good dude. You're like, what is going on?
Well, what was going on is that he had to pay the comeuppance for everybody else's mistake, and I just don't think that was fair. I don't think Rudy deserved it.
So one last thing from my brother. He says, and he totally ruins this book for me. The Willow book from last week. He's like, I read Shadow Moon in high school. Didn't care for it. 2 out of 5 stars. Spoiler alert. And of course, I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to keep reading. He says, first off, it's not a sequel. The world, characters, tone, etc. have all changed so dramatically that it's unidentifiable from the movie. Second, it begins just like Alien 3, where Newt, Hicks, he says Ricks. It's not Ricks, it's Hicks, motherfucker. Hicks and Bishop are all dead at the beginning of the movie. Madmartigan, dead. Sorsha, dead. Willow, dead. He's now Thorn, a grizzled, humorless wizard. So basically, it's The Last Jedi. It's the Last Jedi.
Yo, why Bo go so hard right there, boy? He pulled the receipts. He's like, he notated first and gave you. I love the Dial Boys. Y'all motherfuckers crack me up.
I'm Lawrence Dial. This has been What We Into.
And I'm your boy Rob Karma Robinson. Hit us up.
whatweinto@gmail.com. What We Into on Facebook. Dial_Lawrence on Twitter.
You can hit me at shinebrighter@gmail.com.
Check out his website. What's your
website? It's shinebrighter@wixsite/mysite.
It's not with an I. It's with a Y.
Shine Brighter with a Y, not an I.
SHY.
SHYNE.
Like he's shy, but he's not.
Shy. See,
shy.
It's wordplay, motherfuckers.
You are a little shy sometimes. I see it.
I'm mostly shy.
I don't call it out.
No, I'm mostly shy.
I was shy today. Today was a weird day for me, man. When
Well,
you go see Dark Phoenix at 10 a.m. in the morning.
Well, when you inject that level of trauma into your eyeballs so early in the day and then have to walk around with it on your brain, I'd imagine it would be.
When you were watching a superhero movie at the movie theaters at like 10:30 in the morning and you realize this escapism is not working, why am I trying to escape so much from a free day that I could have done anything with?
You might as well have just done cocaine on the street.
I might as well just
took a handful of coke and was like, and then ran around the block 15.
I could have still recovered, come back, taken a shower, and been like, yeah, the day's not bad. Things are pretty good. Instead, I watched Dark Phoenix.
Yo,
after already seeing... That's the problem, is I already saw Godzilla earlier in the week.
Well, then what do we... All right, well, let's talk about what we're going to see next week. What are we talking about next week? Do you have any ideas?
What do you want to talk about?
You have any ideas?
We should do
Black Panther.
We already...
No, we shouldn't. Cause
we've seen it so many times.
Yeah,
I'll say the podcast with the most hits now, it went from Punisher Oscars to Harry Potter.
Really?
You want a big hit, it's going to be Harry Potter. Or Kung Fu Hustle. Or Constantine.
You know, why don't we circle back to Kung Fu Hustle? Because we've hyped it and there's a second one coming.
When's the last time you saw Kung Fu Hustle?
Probably a month or two ago.
It was recently.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. I watch it like it's one of those like I gotta see it every couple of months because it's so good.
It really is
good.
And it's also weird that
because I love kung fu flicks. I love kung fu kickouts, and it's kind of an amorphous one because it rides the line between so many things. It's a little bit of a romantic comedy. It's a little bit of a dark comedy.
So good. The Axe Gang. Let's watch it. Let's do it. It's kind of
like it's a musical. There's so many elements of it that are incredible. Like, all right. Well, I mean, so let's watch it for next week and then review.
If you're listening, it's probably gonna be Kung Fu Hustle. We may change that.
We may change it.
If something better comes along, Rain of Fire at some point.
Yeah, we'll do that at some point. But this Kung Fu Hustle idea got me stuck. I mean, look how you're smiling as you're thinking about it right now.
Just the idea of the lollipop. Oh, it's so good. It makes me cry.
Because
I cry in Kung Fu Hustle.
The scene, like she. Oh my god. And she's like, "Yo, it's me from went back." Appreciate you, yo.
It's like those bad kids peed on you. Remember?
Yeah, they peed on your head, bro.
They peed on your face. I have a lollipop now.
It's
a lollipop stand.
And he hits him with the fake palm and he looks at his hand like.
Kung Fu Hustle, that's next week.
So good.
Also, maybe Shaolin Soccer and whatever Stephen Chow movies he's done.
You know what? I'll watch all of them. Shaolin Soccer, not nearly as.
Did you see his kids movie? He had a kid movie too for a while. I forgot what it's called.
No.
I watched it with Penelope years ago. I don't remember.
I'll look for it. I'll run the game and I'll
basically Stephen Chow movies next week.
I'll watch them because I think he's awesome.
We're also on Patreon. You can throw us $1.
Throw us $1, guys.
It's $1.
It helps us watch movies.
It helps mostly because you give it to us every month.
And
if there were enough of you,
we could watch a lot more movies.
We could go Bigfoot hunting with Jose Canseco. What were the other things we want to do? We go to Galaxy's Edge in Florida.
Yeah, send us to Galaxy's Edge.
Where else can we go? We could do any trip that you wanted, to be quite honest.
I mean, we could go and talk about a lot of stuff. As we clearly are rambling on past our time. But
Patreon.com/whatweinto, $1. No big deal. Even my brother hasn't sent us $1. I'm gonna read all this with him. But he sent us valuable.
Damn.
priceless comments.
You're gonna just put him on blast like that. You're like, my brother ain't even hit me up. And he's
hit
a
me
lawyer.
up, man. $1. Where's your kids at? Your kids even give us $1.
Yeah, wow, Bo, really? You on trial now?
Names are
you on trial
Parker, now? Amber, whatever her name is.
You on trial?
Scarlett.
You gonna fix this in post, right?
We're gonna fix it. We're gonna send it. It's late. It is 2:26 in the morning. This is exactly the same time we did last week. Or last time we were here. I swear if you listen back to the podcast, it'd be like, what time is it? It's 2:26. Time to go. Boom.